Morning, Hayden. Hello, Temple. I'm not saying your first name, sorry. Rawr, they give you the tiny tiny. Appreciate you. Hello, Hannah. Can't wait to be off work. I feel ya. I feel ya. Thank you, Ash. Appreciate you. Okay, you guys know what to do. Tap that screen until we get op. Tap like you've never tapped before until we get op. Hey there, Lily. Thank you for the roses. No, you don't? No, I don't what? My cat found a bag. No, kitty. Here, take it back in the other room. That way you're not making noise in here. Got his sling for goddamn? Okay, cool. Hey there, Ash. How am I doing? Feeling better? Yeah, I'm not sick anymore. I'm just depressed now. Yeah? Go from being sick to being depressed. Alright, we got a guest request. No guest request, never mind. Yeah, it does not mean that? Okay, I have no idea what it means. Is that my real hair? I mean, yeah, it's obviously dyed, but yes, this is my real hair. This is not a wig. Alright, we got 400 people in here, guys. Please keep tapping the screen. Do I do my nails? I used to. I don't really do it anymore. They just chipped too much.
Yeah, I was just gonna say one thing and I was gonna leave.
I need to know how old you are first.
I am 24.
Fantastic. All right. What would you like to say?
I was just gonna say you look pretty today, and then you can back me out.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you. You have a good one.
Yeah, take care.
Thank you for the heart me. That was nice. It felt genuine. I'm okay with whatever people are doing, and I wish we could just use one bathroom for all. Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, David. You do this for money and attention. Please get a life. That is incorrectly. Hey there, Normie. Good morning. Thank you for the TikToks. Thank you for the heart me's. Hey there, Mama Moon. How come one side is bald? No hate, because I like it. I think it looks cool. Look at that. It looks cool. I've been thinking about mirroring that to this side, so I just got like a top bit of hair that I can just like pull back to like a ponytail, and then have the other side shaved with another sideburn. I lost the battle to temptation. In what manner? Because sure, I'm able to be tempted, but you can't be tempted to be trans. That does not look cute. It looks fucking hot. Look at it. Look at it. It looks hot. Love my earrings. Thank you. I got them yesterday. How's my morning? So far, so good. A little depressed. Why does my voice still sound like this? Because I have not had surgery or trained my voice. Do I think energy is masculine or feminine? No. Energy is just energy. Have I ever tried to curl my hair? Yes, I did it once and I hated it. Sorry, but the saying cute. That's a you problem, Bree, not a me problem. Do I plan on changing my voice? It's something that I would like to do. I don't know when I'll be ready to do it, but it is something I would like to do. Your hair looks so pretty, like a beach sunset. Thank you. Did I ever play Life is Strange True Colors? Yes, I played through it 3 times, I think. It's probably my least favorite of the Life is Stranges, but that doesn't mean I don't like it. I think it's a good game. I just don't like it as much as the others. How tall am I? 5'11". Use TikTok voice filters. Let's see. What do I got here? What do I got? Enhance. Voice effects. What can I do? They don't give you as many voice effects for for lives. Let's try melodic. Hello? I don't know, what's it sound like to you guys? It doesn't sound like anything to me. I don't get to hear it. What's it sound like to you guys? How about this one? How does this one sound?
Hey, how's it going?
Hello, Alex. How you doing?
Doing good.
How old are you, please?
40.
Fantastic. All right. What would you like to say?
I was actually curious. So, do you not date non-binary people?
I do. Well, I mean, I haven't dated a non-binary person, but I'm not opposed to it at all. Thank you for the ice cream.
So this is a philosophical conversation that I've had with a few people. I'm not trying to prove you wrong because I feel like you can't tell anybody what their sexuality is. However, so if you date non-binary people, if you were to say that you're a lesbian, then that would be gendering the non-binary person.
Non-binary person don't automatically have aren't automatically genderless, right? Like non-binary people do typically have gender, not all, but typically.
Sure, but the gender isn't going to be woman or female necessarily.
Sure, I would agree with that. Yeah, I mean, again, it would be a case by case basis. I mean,
Sure.
if I were to date a non-binary person and they were uncomfortable with me calling myself a lesbian, a relationship probably wouldn't be meant to be because I consider myself to be a lesbian, and that would be okay. And if a non-binary person that I was dating was okay with me calling myself a lesbian, fantastic.
Okay. Well, the philosophical conversation to it was just basically that you would be pansexual.
See, there was a brief period of time where, because I am attracted to non-binary people as well, that I thought, hey, maybe I'm bi or something like that, and I proposed this idea, and I was very, very roundly told no.
You were told no?
Yes, I was told no. That does not make you bi. Very, very firmly.
Huh. I'm not sure who told you that.
I don't remember. I know it was the internet, but that's about all I remember.
Bad internet people.
I know.
No, it's just a
Right?
philosophical conversation that I've been having with a few people. Because, like, my partner has always considered themselves lesbian, and then had come to find out that, you know, they were omnisexual, because it's not really about a certain preference for her. And then being with me, because I'm non-binary, we're in a pansexual relationship. Because
I think this is a very interesting conversation. It brings up so many interesting points. Rar, thank you so much for the tiny dining. Do we need another label? Are the labels that we have good enough? I mean, I know a lot of people that identify as non-binary lesbians, for instance, etc. It's very, very interesting to me.
yeah, oh yeah, and that's why I said, like, I would never tell anybody what their sexuality is, because only you can determine that. But yeah, that was just, you know, different types of relationships that you get into kind of stretch those limitations that those terms put on people, I guess. But yeah, it's just a little philosophical conversation to kind of make you think about things.
Yeah, out of all the points that are made in this topic, it's this one that I find the most interesting. 'Cause I don't necessarily know the answer here.
Right.
My current stance is that being attracted to non-binary people doesn't automatically make you bi or pan. You can be bi or pan, etc. And it doesn't invalidate whether or not you're straight, gay, lesbian, etc. And it's down to the individuals. So that's my current stance. But I think there's a lot of interesting discussion to be had about it.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. That's all I wanted to say. Put that out there in the world for people to think about.
All right, I appreciate you. You have a good one.
Thanks. You too.
Hello.
Hello, Michaela. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
I'm 28.
28. Fantastic. And am I a lesbian?
I believe that you have the right to make your own decision on what you are, and like the previous host said, you're guessed, I guess, you can't tell somebody else what their sexuality is. And I mainly came up here just because I have a couple questions. I guess I want to be educated. My son is unsure of I guess he identifies as non-binary. And so I guess I just want to learn a little bit more about how everything works per se, because I mean, my mom's a lesbian. I grew up in that lifestyle and I accept all of it. I guess for me, how do you change your, like what you grew up knowing, like this is a man or this is a woman, and then like rerouting your brain to understand like the non-binary. So like when I am talking about my son, like how do I go about kind of changing that view in my own brain? So I just kind of want to be educated. I've been watching you for a long time.
Changing what you've been taught, what you understood, is a difficult thing to do. It's not something that typically happens overnight. It's typically a process. The unfortunate reality is that as a society, especially in Western culture, we've been let down by our education system. There's been culture after culture after culture for thousands of years that have recognized 3 or more genders, and we haven't really learned about that in school. We've been taught that there are men and there are women, and that's it. So we have to unlearn that, and that takes time. And we have to understand that gender is not a binary. It's not just men on one side, women on the other. There's also all these other gender identities in between.
Okay, so I guess I see a lot of the comments, not my son, my child. So
what does your child prefer? I mean, it is entirely possible for a non-binary person to be okay with son.
So my child doesn't necessarily have a problem with me saying son. Other people, my child prefers to be called they, them. And so I guess that for me is the hardest part to kind of get to, is not necessarily referring to my child as him, as I have, his whole life, obviously, because when you birth a child, you're told this is a boy, right? Or this is a girl. And so that differentiating the gender versus sex, I guess for me is where I kind of get confused, if that makes sense.
The difference between gender and sex?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. This is another area the education system has largely let us down. They didn't really teach us these differences. When we're talking about biological sex, that relates to our entire reproductive system. Genitalia, chromosomes, hormone levels, neurology, gametes, etc. All these things mix in to form our sex, and they don't always align. Sometimes you have the gametes, sometimes you got the chromosomes, and sometimes they don't all line up. Gender is biopsychosocial, meaning it's partially biological, it is partially psychological, and it is partially social. However, it's not related to reproductive functions in any way. It's the part that we see the most would be our gender expression, the way we express the things that we say about ourselves to others, the way that we present ourselves, etc. That would be the gender expression part. That's the most easily visible part. Then there's the innate sense of self, the psychological part. That is the part that is within you, the part that deep truth that you know about yourself. And then there's the biological part, which is like your hypothalamus, which is in your brain.
Okay, and then I guess my last thing is, do you have any suggestions for me growing up that maybe your parents did or didn't do that I can learn to help my child go through life and be who they want to be?
Yeah, for me, what would have been huge would be just learning the absolute basics of the trans community. Like, my parents were open-minded people, and they are open-minded people, I should say. They're still with us. Thank you so much for the heart puff. And they did teach me about lesbians, gay people, and bisexual people, and told me that there's absolutely nothing wrong with being LGBT. But my parents were not educated about the T, so they didn't teach me about the T. And what I would have liked to know is just that, hey, sometimes someone that we thought was a boy is actually a girl, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes someone is not a boy or a girl. They're a different gender, etc. That there are more than just boy and girl genders. And that would have been really, really nice to know as a kid.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you answering all my questions.
No problem. I appreciate you coming up. Bye.
Bye.
See, I see people saying that you thought my parents weren't supportive at first. That's when I came out. Like my initial coming out, I did get positive reactions. It was all hugs and tears and happiness. That ended up fading a bit over time. But as far as being raised, like when I was a kid, I was taught positive things about lesbian, gay, and bisexual people. I just wasn't taught about trans people at all. Okay, I do want to do a little shout out to Fairy King. Thanks to you and Mel's education, I've been able to recognize and come out as non-binary, gender fluid, and I feel a lot happier. Fairy King, congratulations. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. I do simultaneously stream over on Twitch, guys. That comment came from Twitch. Adorable Rainbow Fist on Twitch. Morning, Katie. Morning, Cameron. Hope you're all having a good day. If you guys can keep tapping that screen, please, and sharing the live, that would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, my dad still has significant issues with the trans community. He won't call me his daughter, won't gender me at all. Hello, Sarah. How you doing?
Hey, Adora, just coming through to give my love. I'm a mother of a trans kid, and you have given me so much. You and Mel have given me so much positivity and light to have so much positivity in my kid's life. It's their 16th birthday today, and I just want to say I'm so thankful for you and Mel for giving me so much positivity, and I love you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
I'll let you be, and thank you for doing what you're doing. I love you.
You have a good day, Sarah.
Bye.
Bye. That was nice. W Sarah in chat, guys. W Sarah in chat.
Hello.
Hello, Big Bob. How you doing?
I'm fine.
How old are you, please?
18. I was born January 8, 2006.
Fantastic. And am I a lesbian?
Yeah.
Awesome. Love to hear it.
But kind of like the person, kind of like one of the last people, I do also kind of want to get more information because I have been on similar lives, and I do want to get more information about the LGBT community.
Okay.
All right then. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Being a lesbian is when you're a girl and you like other girls, right?
Typically, I would say a more inclusive definition would be a woman who's a person who is not a man who's attracted to other people that aren't men. I do need to find a better definition because I don't like how much that one centers men, but that's the current most inclusive definition that I'm aware of.
Okay, got it. I don't really have any other questions. That was just my main question. I'm gonna just let somebody else go on. Just thank you.
No problem. Appreciate you. Bye. I suppose I could say a woman or non-binary person is attracted to other women or non-binary people. Hello, Jay Stevens, you with me? No Jay Stevens.
Hi.
Hello, Bunnykins. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
Doing fantastic. How old are you, please?
I'm 39.
39. All right. And am I a lesbian?
Well, it's the first for me, but I'd say, I've never met a trans woman who has said that she is a lesbian before. It's new to me, but I would say, you are, in my eyes, you're female, and I've got no problem whatsoever with trans people at all.
Awesome.
Obviously, I'm used to trans people being trans because they like the opposite sex rather than the same sex. So for me, it's new to me, but I'm happy for you to be who you are. I've got no problem with it. You like women, so you're not into men. You prefer women.
Right, exactly. I'm a woman. I'm attracted to women.
Okay, I I can accept that. That's cool with me. I'm from the UK, and it's really lovely to meet you. I've been watching you for a few weeks now, and
Much.
you're really good at what you do. Your hair's stunning.
Thank you.
So I
That means the
just
world to
want
me.
very welcome. I just wanted to establish because I'm still learning myself about trans people and about non-binary and androgynous, and because I've become very curious about people like that, and it's good to be educated. I think you're good at educating people.
Thank you. I appreciate you, buddy. Was
You're
there anything
more
else you
than
wanted to say?
welcome. My real name is Sally, and I just want to say hi and thank you for having me up on here.
Well, thank you so much. You have a good day, okay? I appreciate you.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
That was super nice. Let's get some more W guests going, guys. And while we're at it, if you are a follower of mine, either here or on any of my backups, please write Grayskull in chat. If you're a follower of mine, write Grayskull in chat. W. Hello, Adam. How you doing?
Hello.
Okay, please.
So, I don't know what to say, but I kind of disagree.
Sure. I need to know your age first.
Yeah, I'm born 2006, February.
And your age?
I'm 18. I turned 18 in February.
Right. Well, awesome.
Yeah.
Am I a lesbian?
No. Well,
Why
I
not?
don't know. Well, no. Yeah, I don't know. You're not born as a woman, are you?
No one's born a woman or a man because you have to be an adult for that. I was born an infant. I developed into a girl, and at the age of adulthood, I became a woman.
Yeah. So, no, but like, I don't know. It's kind of discriminating towards women. Like, you are a man. Like, there's no question against that. You're a man.
In what way does me being a lesbian discriminate against women?
Well, you're not really a woman. You're just like, you're kind of confused.
Even if that was the case, that doesn't back up your points. I want to make sure we're on the same page here. What does discriminate mean to you?
Well, put down, like, just discriminate, bullying.
Okay, so put down or bully. In what way does me saying that I'm a woman put down or bully cisgender women?
Well, I'm honestly like really confused because, it's really not that complicated. You're just not a woman. You're not a lesbian. I don't know where you got this from. You're maybe
We can move
confused.
past the discrimination comment. Why am I not a woman?
Well, you're not born as a woman, and if you were transferred as a woman, it's still like very weird to call you a lesbian because you're born as a boy. It's really weird.
Okay, so what makes someone a boy?
Well, obviously you have that you have a willy when you're born with one, and yeah, that's it. And when you're a woman, you're born with a vajay.
Okay, we can use anatomically correct terms like penis or vagina.
Yeah.
So your claim that in order to be a woman, you have to be born with a vagina. In order to be a man, you have to be born with a penis, right?
Yeah, that's how God made us. I don't know why you should question that. Like, of course you can be
Are you a
gay,
Christian
you
by
can
any
be
chance?
straight. You can also dress feminine if you want to. Like, it's really not.
Are you Christian?
What?
Are you Christian?
No, I'm a Muslim.
Muslim. Okay. So did you know that there are women that are born without vaginas? There are men that are born without penises. Your God made them that way.
Yeah. Well, then
Right.
that's obviously excused because in my religion it also says if you have unbalanced hormones, which were you born with unbalanced hormones and
No.
testosterone and stuff like that? Because if you weren't, there's no actual reason for you to transfer.
Okay. So would you say that a man who was born without a penis is still a man?
Well, I don't know. It actually depends. I think it like depends on the cells and stuff like that.
What do you mean by depends on the cells? Do you mean, are you talking about chromosomes?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about chromosomes. Typically, a man has XY chromosomes, and typically a woman has XX chromosomes.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case. Sometimes
okay.
a man
Yeah.
has XX chromosomes, sometimes a woman has XY chromosomes.
Yeah. Yes, and your point is?
Chromosomes don't determine our gender. You can be a woman and have XY chromosomes.
Well, wait, why doesn't it? Can you explain? Because
Sure,
I'm kind of
because sex and gender are different things. So chromosomes are a sex characteristic.
Yeah. Wait.
And,
Yeah. Can I just answer someone? Adam, we don't transfer. You have no clue what you are talking about. But you low-key are. You're like Transformers. You transform into this and that. Like, it's kind of confusing. This isn't to you, by the way. I'm answering someone.
I know that you're addressing the comments. I would prefer that you keep the conversation up here with me.
Yes, of course.
Okay. I'm giving you a break on the word transfer or transition for the moment, so we can continue this part of the conversation.
Okay.
It is incorrect. You don't need to transition in order to be trans.
Wait, can I say Transformer?
I would. Yeah, that's a derogatory thing. You don't want to say that to a trans person.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Where were we? Just sex and gender. So biological sex refers to our reproductive functions, and gender is psychological and social.
Yes. But what gender is... Wait, so you mean what your pronouns are defines what your gender is?
No, that pronouns would, I suppose, would be a part of gender expression.
Yeah. Well, honestly, well, I'm really confused in this case because it's so much like to take in. But can you like explain why you became a woman and how you became a woman?
Sure. I didn't choose to become a woman. I became a woman because I was born a girl and I reached the age of adulthood. That's how I became a woman. And what was the second?
Wait. So you didn't just transfer because you felt like a woman?
I didn't transition because I felt like a woman? Is that what you mean to ask? When you say transition, what are you referring to?
Like, change, like, like
Change. Okay, just so like hormones.
Yeah, like swish, you're just another gender. That's what I mean.
Okay, no problem. So you don't have to do any of that stuff to be valid in your identity. You don't have to start hormones. You don't have to get surgery, and you can still be transgender. Even if I still had a penis, even if I still had a flat chest, even if I still had masculine hormone levels, I would still be a woman. I didn't do that stuff to become a woman. I already was one. I did that because I have gender dysphoria, which is a severe distress-based disorder, which causes a significant negative impact to your day-to-day life. It causes things like anxiety, things like depression, etc. So I had to get rid of that dysphoria, and I did that by taking hormones and getting top and bottom surgery.
Okay, so you don't have a ding-dong anymore?
I don't, but that's not relevant to whether or not I am or am not a woman.
Well, it kind of is, though. Like, you can't go around with a ding-dong and claim to be a woman because you're not.
Well, again, sex and gender are different things. Biological sex refers to your to your reproductive functions, and gender is psychosocial. So terms like male, female, and intersex, those are related to your reproductive functions. Terms like man, woman, non-binary, those are gendered terms, and they are different things. They talk about different aspects of the human experience.
Yeah, okay. So you transferred, transitioned to a woman before you like went through puberty.
Unfortunately, no.
No, okay.
And again, you don't transition from a man to a woman. You were what you identified as the entire time. But no, I did not start my my medical transition until my 30s.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna leave, but I'm just gonna answer. this I'm just gonna tell because people here are saying that I'm arguing with you, which I'm not. So yeah, it's like it's not an argument. It's not something that we're winning
Conversation
because
is between you and I feel like we're having a good conversation, and I'm
yeah,
offering.
I agree. I agree. I completely agree. Anyway, so I gotta go now. But
Okay. No
yeah,
problem.
okay.
All
Bye.
right. You have a good day, Adam.
You too.
Bye. Y'all, that was a good conversation. Look, I'm not the type to agree to disagree. Adam was wrong. And Adam did say some harmful things, but there was an opportunity to reach Adam. And I'm going to take that opportunity every time. Adam may be on the wrong side right now, and we're not going to get him to the right side if we don't have genuine conversations with people. Okay. All right, if everyone could keep tapping that screen and sharing the live, that would be greatly appreciated. We have 20,000 likes. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you, guys. Let's get that up to 30,000 likes. Don't forget, I do simultaneously stream to Twitch. So if you head on over to Twitch, you get to do things like redeem channel points for various things that make me do... Kind of like I have the props here and the action gifts here. If you redeem channel points, you can have me hydrate or stretch, etc. There's a couple others. I forgot what they are. But there's a few actions you can redeem your hydrate, and redeem your channel points for. Also, if you subscribe to my Twitch, you get access to my live replays, so you can watch my lives whenever you want to. Okay. Chloe's the type of cat that either wants all the affection and all the hugs, or none of the affection and none of the hugs.
Hello.
When I'm on camera, she wants all the affection. Hello, Elise.
Hello. I
How
just
old are you, please?
19.
Fantastic. And what year were you born?
2004.
Oh, 04. All right. And am I a lesbian?
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I like all trans people because I think people could be who they want to be, but the only thing I don't agree with is that how people trans people are now accepted into female sports, right? And I don't think that's fair.
Okay, so I think that there's a nuanced discussion to be had here. I don't think that trans women should automatically, by default, be allowed in women's sports. Thank you for the ice cream, I appreciate it. But I think that banning us outright is also incredibly problematic. I think that if we can meet certain criteria, meaning that either we've been on hormones for 2 years and we're monitored so that they know what our hormone levels are, or we didn't go through male puberty in the first place, we went through female puberty, then we should be allowed to compete.
But say a woman athlete has been training all her life to win. I don't think it's fair that someone who wasn't biologically born as, because men physically are more, what's the word, more...
Males are typically stronger than females, typically.
Yeah, I mean, when someone's worked all their life, then they just get basically robbed by someone.
So first of all, it's not robbing, especially if we follow the criteria that I laid out right there, that we're on hormones for a period of 2 years first. That the end result is if we're on hormones for 2 years, we lose our strength. We lose we lose strength. We lose bone density, etc. So we end up.
You'd physically be a biological woman.
Physically be what? Sorry.
Be a biological woman.
We're already women in the first place, but our bodies would more align with what is typically associated with being female.
Okay, I think that if they're gonna do in sports, they should have separate. If that makes sense.
Like a transgender exclusive league.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that. It's a point that's brought up quite a bit. So right now we have men's leagues and women's leagues typically. Sometimes we have mixed leagues, but typically it's men's and women's leagues. Men's leagues are significantly better funded, and it's a lot easier to find men to compete in these leagues. Women's leagues are underfunded. Women's leagues are very, very underfunded, and it's typically harder to fill out all the sports for women than it is for men. So even though women are approximately half the population, it's significant. It's already significantly harder to run a women's league than it is a men's. Now we look at transgender people. Transgender people make up some like 1 to 2% of the population. I've heard varying range of numbers.
Yeah,
Entire leagues for 1 to 2% of the population.
Hmm?
How are we going to make entire leagues for such a small population?
Yeah, no, and like I do understand that. I just wanted to like know what your view was on it, because like that's the only thing I disagree with. Like, do you know who Caitlyn Jenner is?
Caitlyn Jenner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even she says that she doesn't agree with.
Sure. Transgender people are not a monolith. There's approximately 1.6 million of us in the United States. We don't all agree. I think Caitlyn Jenner is incredibly harmful to the trans community.
Yeah. Okay, well, I just wanted to know your opinion, to be honest, on it.
All right. Anything else you'd like to say? Anything else you'd like to say?
No, and I'm not like transphobic or anything. Like, I support it. That's just like the one thing that I was a bit iffy about.
Sure, I 100% agree that there is a nuanced discussion to be had there. We should figure out the best time for the best moment for when it is appropriate for a trans woman to compete in women's leagues. Because a trans woman that hasn't been on HRT is likely to have some level of advantage. Not guaranteed, but likely to have some level of advantage.
Yeah.
So, in the interest of fairness, I do believe that trans people should have to be on HRT. But it's also important to remember that sports aren't fair. There are people with biological advantages in sports. Michael Phelps has biological advantages. Rob Gronkowski, what's his name? LeBron James. There's loads and loads and loads of people with physical advantages. It goes on and on.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you. It was nice talking to you.
No problem. You have a good day.
Bye, you too.
Tall women competing in the WNBA. They have an advantage over the short women.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Socks. How you doing?
I'm here. I'm just here to spread some love. I love your live. You're amazing, beautiful, and brave, and have a good one.
I appreciate you.
But I don't know how to leave you. There it is.
Thank you so much. I really need to make a proper sports topic, but I would have to catch myself up on. I got age restricted. I have no idea why. I mean, age restrictions don't really affect views, but genuinely do not know why I was age restricted. Oh, there was a new topic I wanted to make today. Shit. Maybe when I take my break today, I'll make a new topic. Hello, Slumpfest. How you doing?
So, what makes you?
I need to know your age.
Oh, I'm 18. I'm 18. I was born in 2005.
Fantastic. Okay. What makes me a lesbian? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm a woman attracted to other women.
Okay. So what makes you a woman? If you were born a man, but you felt like a woman when you were growing up, you felt like a woman, right? You felt like you were in the wrong body.
Sure. I mean, wrong body isn't something that always applies to trans people, but for me, yes, I felt like I was in the wrong body.
Okay. So when you started your transition, what did you need to do to start that transition?
When I started my so in my 30s, I started HRT, and then I got surgery.
And you got surgery. So all of it's man done, right? All done by other people. It wasn't natural.
So like my hormone levels are because of an external pill, and my genitalia is because of a surgery that I had. But I don't think that actually means anything significant, because my hormone levels are feminine levels. My genitalia is female.
Because it was changed. You were born with a
it was changed, but
okay.
But
so all
it's different. It's no longer male genitalia. It's now female genitalia.
Okay, so all the stuff that you have, your testosterone, your genitals, everything is all done by a man or some other person instead of naturally.
Assume it was a man. It was not.
It doesn't matter. Like it. I'm saying in general. It was done by another human being.
Sure. Yeah, and I don't think that's relevant.
And your feelings, what made you turn into a woman, but without the man stuff that happened to you, like the genitals and the testosterones, that wouldn't make you a woman.
That happened to me.
I don't. You're
Everybody, literally every single person involved in this entire process, except for my head nurse, was a woman.
It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if they were man or woman that did it. It was all done by a. It wasn't natural. You weren't naturally born a girl. You were naturally born a guy. That you felt as your feelings, you felt as a female. But that doesn't make, just because your feelings make you feel as a female. I could say I feel like a girl sometimes. That doesn't make me trans. But if I were to go get my privates all changed up and I got on testosterones and I lose my muscle mass and all my strength and stuff, I could still feel like a man. And I'll still be a man. You know? I don't know if you understand that.
You seem to be implying that changes that you make to your body are what make a person trans or not. Am I understanding?
Yeah, because because at that point, if it's not what you've done to your body, it's how you feel. It's your feelings more than what you really are. If it wasn't done by other people, it would just be your feelings that are valid for yourself. If other people's feelings towards you that, oh yeah, that's not a girl, because you were born a guy. If you didn't change all that stuff, but you were, you were not, if all these people didn't do what they did surgically and medically, you would still be a guy.
Nope. So what you're saying here is that in order for me to be a woman, I have to make these changes. No, that's not the case. I was a woman when I had a penis.
No, that was your feelings.
So what is the necessary condition to being a woman?
Well, you tell me what makes you a woman in general. Your feelings, right?
Sense of self.
It would be your feelings that made you feel like a woman, because you were born a guy. You were born with a penis. You were born with male testosterone.
Again,
you were
not
born with the muscle.
I was born male, but
yes.
What makes me a woman is my innate sense of self.
Huh?
So gender is a combination of several things. It's biology, it is psychology, and it is sociology. And all of these things intersect to make gender. These things all combined make me a woman.
X chromosomes or no?
Sorry?
Were you born with XX chromosomes?
I have not been karyotyped. Statistically speaking, it's a near certainty that I have XY chromosomes.
So you have XY chromosomes. So
it's a near certainty.
Biologically, you were born a male, right?
Yeah, I don't deny that. I was born male.
Mentally, you feel like a female. Now, what you did to your body, done by other people, makes you feel more valid as a female. But medically, without these transitions, without the testosterone, if you were to go play a sport, you would have the same strength as a male. If you didn't do what you did to your genitals, you would be able to reproduce as a male.
So what? What's that have to do with my gender?
You are a male. You cannot get pregnant.
You don't have a period. I don't think you heard me. I did not deny I am male. Never denied that.
But you say you're a trans person. So you say you were a female.
I'm a woman. I'm male. All three are the same at once.
No. That's not how it. No, you're either a male or you're a female. I don't care about all that other gender stuff. Whatever your gender identity, they, she, this, male, female.
Okay, so it sounds to me like the way that you're referring to male and female is related to gender. It sounds to me like you're getting those two things mixed up. When we're talking about biology, sex, male-female intersex relate to your reproductive functions. Man-woman non-binary, they relate to your psychology, your sociology, etc.
Repeat that again. Sorry, you kind of lagged for me.
Male-female intersect relates to reproductive functions. Man-woman non-binary is in your head.
Man, okay, so you said reproductive, right? So females, they reproduce, they give birth, they have a fetus, or not a fetus, a uterus. Males have genitals, a penis, and they produce the semen, okay? And then you're saying if you feel like a girl, that's mental. If if I call myself a man, that's mental. That's a mental thing.
Psychological, social. Okay. There is a biological aspect as well with your brain.
So if that's the case, so you saying that you feel like a man, or you feel like a woman, you're a trans woman from male to female, that is mental and that is feelings that you have towards yourself. That is exactly what I'm saying. All of it is feelings. It's not factual, it's feelings. As you just stated, it's mental.
Yeah, things that lie within your brain can be factual.
Oh, but
just because something is psychological doesn't mean it's not true.
But you just said it's mental.
Yeah, again, just because it is mental doesn't mean it's not true. That's how we observe the world around us, is through our brains. Just because something is happening in our brain doesn't mean it's not real.
Okay, but is science and medically, is that real? If you were born a guy, sure, you don't feel like a guy because that's your feelings. So you say you're a female. Which one's true? Your feelings or the medical facts that you were born with male genitalia, you're born with XY chromosomes, you reproduce like a guy until you changed it by medical staff?
I've changed my sex characteristics, but my sex characteristics do not determine my gender.
So your feelings determine your gender?
My innate sense of self determines my gender.
Your feelings. So just because you feel like, no, it is your
slump fest. You're getting hung up on the word feelings.
Because that's what it is. It's a mental thing.
It is a truth. It is something that is deep within ourselves. It is the combination of our biology, of our psychology, and our social expression. All those things intersect to create our gender, and that lies in our brain.
So it's opinion based. It's your opinion on yourself. It's not. No, it's not a true thing.
No facts.
How is it a fact when it's how you feel? If I have a shirt and it's black, but I feel like it's blue, does that mean because I feel like it's blue, that it's blue, or is it still black?
Okay. What is the criteria for something being black?
The color black. What do you mean? It's a black shirt, but I feel like it's blue. So my opinion that it's blue.
And what's the criteria for something being blue?
Huh?
And what's the criteria for something being blue?
What do you mean?
Define blue?
What do you mean define blue? You know what blue is. Why do I just like the color red on your hair? But you could say that's purple. Because that's how you feel. It's purple.
Okay, so the point that I'm making here is that there is specific criteria for something being blue, and there's specific criteria for something being black. So you don't get to just change that. You have to meet certain criteria.
So what criteria do you meet that makes you a female when you were born a man?
Of my biology, of my social characteristics, and my psychological characteristics. They combine to make my gender.
But it's just your feelings. It's just your feelings, and then how you changed your body. That was done by man-made.
Things that lie within your brain are not true.
So you're saying, like I just said, if I told myself this shirt is blue, but it's a black shirt, and everybody sees black, but I say it's blue because that's how I feel like I want it to be.
Criteria for something to be blue or black, and it has to meet that criteria in order to be blue or black.
So if I buy a shirt, it says blue. It says blue shirt.
You are not getting it, my guy.
I am, but it's like, it's my feelings that make it blue. It's my feelings to say it's black. It's your feelings that are making you say that you're a female, but you're not.
Being disingenuous as fuck right now.
I don't know, because you're trying to switch it up. You're trying to make it more complicated than it is. If it is a blue shirt and my
gender is complicated,
are saying it's something else, then how is that valid?
Okay, I'm going to mute you. Okay. So yes, gender is complicated. Sex is complicated. We like to simplify it by saying that there's only male and female and that there's only man and woman, but that's wrong. It's not that simple. There's more to it. You're welcome to unmute now.
Okay. But how is it more complicated when it's I'm telling you, it's just feelings. If I feel like a girl today and I wake up, I'm still gonna be a man. I'm still gonna have everything as a guy. I'm gonna have my muscle. Like, it's feelings. I could feel like a girl. If somebody says, "Nah, you're a guy," but I feel like a girl, I'm still a guy at the end of the day. I was born
The
a
only
guy.
person who's going to know your innate sense of self is you. Nobody else will ever know your innate sense of self. Just you.
Huh? Like, what do you? That doesn't even make sense. If I see, like, it's just honestly all this trans stuff is just feelings. If you feel like a girl, if you want to be a girl, like, it's just feelings. There's literally no
So
reason.
is your gender just a feeling, my guy? Thank you, Brick Nisha. Thank you so much. Subscriber.
what?
1 month subscriber. Slumfest is you identify as a man, right?
Because I am a guy, yes.
Fantastic. Is the fact that you're a guy a feeling?
I was born a guy. I was
That
born,
was-
my birth certificate says no.
Is it a feeling, or are you a man? Is it a fact that you're a man?
No, it is factual. Yes.
Exactly. Your gender is a fact.
Scientifically proven that I am a man, yes. Physically, I am a man. Mentally, I am a man. Because that's how I was. Physically, I am a man. Mentally, I am a man. Everything that a man is born with, I have. Just like you were. What's the difference between me and you when we were born? When I was born a man. You were born a man. The same way I had everything as a man, you had when you were born. No, hold up. Let me finish. Okay, I'm about to. This is gonna just like absolutely. Okay. Everything you were born with, I was born with. The same chromosomes, the same genitalia, the same muscle mass, whatever you want to say, right?
Muscle mass varies.
It very, yeah, okay. At the end of the day, and then you had a feeling that you were a female. I have the feeling that I'm a man, right? Right? So then you went and acted because you were born a man, you had to transition into a female. I because of how I feel as a man. So because I feel like a man, I didn't do all the stuff that you did. But because you felt like you were a woman in a man's body, you had to go do all that stuff. So at the end of the day, it's...
I don't know how many more times I have to tell you that that's not why I did what I did.
But it is. It's just feelings. It's how you feel.
I love how you're telling me why I did what I did.
It's how you felt.
Okay, so earlier you mentioned that that you and I were born the same way, that we were both born with the same genitalia, same chromosomes, hormone levels, etc., right?
Yeah, go ahead.
What would you say to a man who is assigned male at birth, born with a penis, but he has XX chromosomes, finds out when he's an adult? Thank you.
Okay, so he has XX chromosomes, right? But he has a male genitalia.
Yeah.
Okay, so if he has X, so with that, can he reproduce the same?
Yeah, he's got male genitalia. He's got.
Okay, so he can reproduce the same way I can.
Sure, but he's got XX chromosomes.
Okay, hold up. Does he have the same physical stuff that I have as a man?
Sure, but he has XX chromosomes. Ashley, thank you for the sub.
Okay, so he has everything. Everything about his body's manly, right? Stereotypically manly and stuff like that.
I don't know how many more times I have to say it. Yes.
Okay. But then he has XX chromosomes. At the end of the day, that would still be. I mean, that's actually kind of hard because if XX chromosomes is just like, were you born with XX chromosomes?
That's not the question.
Okay, but I'm asking.
The person that I gave you in this hypothetical, would this person be a man, a woman, non-binary, or something else altogether? Thank you for the heart.
It would be what he feels like he wants to be. It just feels.
Exactly.
Feelings.
It would be what he knows himself to be.
Feelings.
Okay, let's... I don't care about the work.
We're back to the feelings part. Exactly.
Slumfest. No. My question to you... No. Slumfest, stop talking.
Okay.
Stop talking. Okay, I asked you if this person would be a man, a woman, non-binary, or something else. You said it would be the way that the truth that he knows about himself. That's not exactly what you said. That's not word for word. But you said he would know who he is.
It's how he feels.
Sure. That's your answer. That's how you feel about the answer to that question.
I mean, physically and everything, it would be man. And then you say XX chromosome. Yes, I understand that.
Female.
So he biologically is a female with male stuff, right? If he doesn't know that until he grows up, right? His whole life, basically, he went as a man. If he didn't like, would he still, if he finds out he has the XX chromosomes, and like, so would he? It's all feelings. Like I'm saying, it's all feeling based. If he feels like he wants to turn into a girl,
is he a man? Oh my God, guy. Okay,
what?
This person comes up to you. He's got a penis. He's got male hormone levels. He's identified as a man his whole life, but he tells you that he's got XX chromosomes. But he's also
a man.
Okay, fantastic. Exactly. That was like pulling teeth, my guy. Yes, he is. Okay,
because that's how he feels.
Hang on. Yes, he is a man, which means that his chromosomes don't determine his gender.
So it's the way he feels about himself.
Fine, we'll use the word feels. You insist on it.
I don't know why you don't want to use feelings. It's not something rude or anything. It's feelings. If you want to make
it's not a feeling.
You want to make it hard. It's saying feelings.
Slumfest. Your gender is a fact.
It's a feeling.
But when I asked you about your gender, you told me it was a fact, not a feeling. Why is your gender a fact, but mine's a feeling?
You are a man. You were born a man, and when you were born into this world, you had XY chromosomes. You had XY chromosomes. You had male genitalia. You're trying to sit here and say...
I didn't ask about me. I asked about you. Actually, no, I did ask about me as well.
Yes.
Why is your gender a fact, but my gender is a feeling?
Okay. I was born with genitalia. The male genitalia. XY chromosome. Hold up. All right.
I want to talk about the genitalia. Because you're not getting it. I've made the point several times now, and you're not getting it. There's something called aphalia, meaning that someone who is a born male, identifies as a man, was born without a penis. Not all men are born with penises. What gender is that person?
It's like saying somebody wasn't born with a leg. Is that still a human?
Yes, someone born without a leg is still human. So your answer by that logic is a man born without a penis is still a man.
Medically, yes.
And what about psychologically, socially?
If he feels, back to the feeling stuff, you see, you're not getting...
I don't know how many more times
everything I'm saying is off of feelings as a person. That's what I'm saying. You're trying to sit here and say, oh, scientifically...
I want to know your stance on this.
I'm telling you, and you're going back and
you're the one
with the feelings. It's
into
basically feelings.
You're the one bringing feeling into it.
Because that's what it is.
Okay. Answer my question, yes or no. Is a man born without a penis still a man?
Yes.
Exactly. It is a fact that you can still be a man and be born without a penis. I am a woman that was born without a vagina.
What? No, you weren't. You were a man, born as a man, that wanted to change because he felt like a female.
What specifically makes me a man?
The way you were born, it's not this hard. What makes you a female? Because of how you feel mentally.
Slumfest.
You've said it multiple times. You've
We've already established that it's not my
genitalia. You've said it multiple times that it's how you feel in your brain.
You're not listening at all.
I am. But you're making it up. Okay. You're making it up at that point.
Does genitalia determine if you're a man or a woman?
Your reproductive organs, everything... It's all how you feel.
Don't complicate this, guy. I asked a simple question. I asked a simple question. Does genitalia determine if you're a man or a woman? Yes or no?
I would say yeah.
Okay, so then in the situation that I just gave you, where a man was born without a penis, he would not be a man. But you said that he is, anyways.
Medically, yes. But I don't know what
makes him a man. He doesn't have a penis. You said you have to have a. You said you have to have a penis. You're right, Queen Nikki. It's like pulling teeth.
It's like pulling teeth. It's really not. It's actually very simple. It's feelings. The way you feel about yourself is just your feelings. It's not factual.
I don't care if you use the word feelings, guy. I've said this. You're wrong about it being a feeling, but I don't care. I don't want to get hung up on that. I want to have an actual conversation.
We are having a conversation, but you don't get it through your head that it's a mental disability with a feeling that you have. It's a feeling. If you were born a guy, medically factual, and then you felt that you were trapped into a male's body as a female, it is your feelings that it is. It's just feelings.
What's up, wave guys? Okay, so Slumfest, you're contradicting yourself. On one hand, you're saying that a man born without a penis can still be a man. But on the other hand, you're saying that you must be born with a penis to be a man. You're contradicting yourself.
Okay. All right, let me line this up. To be a man, you don't have to have the male genitalia. All it is okay. Just because you have a vagina now, even though you were born with a penis, that doesn't make you a female, right? Just because you have a vagina doesn't make you a female.
Correct. It means a female genitalia, but it does not inherently make me female, and it also doesn't make me a woman. Did I lose you? You're off the app. I cannot hear you. I love these little kitty paws. It's like a little massage on my shoulders. Thank you so much. Slumfest, you are off the app. I cannot hear you. You have to come back into the app to be heard. Slumfest, I will have to move on. Slumfest dropped. Okay. Jesus Christ. We got a runner, guys. Never mind. He got kicked. TikTok kicked him. TikTok gave him a live ban, which means we have to reset. Okay. Oof, that was exhausting. So I got so many people in requests right now. I have 11 people in requests. If you're in requests, please give me a follow because I'm going to reset. I'll be back in about 30 seconds. And if you give me a follow, you'll be able to see my name up at the top of the page. So you'll be able to rejoin and re-request. And then I can get you up here. You can unfollow me afterwards. So that's just a convenient way for you to easily be able to find me again. And if you just enjoyed this, please consider giving me a follow. I will be right back. 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. Okay.
Hello.
So, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I just made a huge fucking mess. You with me? I heard you, but now I don't hear you anymore.
Do you hear me?
Yes. How old are you, please?
Hello.
How you doing? How old are you?
Actually, is it a problem that I'm underage or no?
You have to be 18 to go live. I appreciate you being honest, though. You have a good day.
Oh. Kill yourself.
Never mind. Don't have a good day.
Hello.
Thank you for the rose. Rosella, how you doing?
Hi, yeah, I'm good.
How old are you, please?
I'm 18.
18, fantastic. What year were you born?
2006, but my birthday's in January, so.
Fantastic. Okay, am I a lesbian?
Well, how would you define lesbian?
Non-men attracted to non-men.
See, I would define a lesbian as, like, woman-loving woman.
I meet that criteria as well. I'm a woman who's attracted to women.
Yeah, I mean, but biologically you are a male, correct?
Sure, I have male sex characteristics. I also have female sex characteristics, but I don't think that our sex characteristics determine our gender.
Yeah, but, you have, a male brain, correct?
I don't know. I definitely haven't had my brain tested. Neurology is definitely a part of gender, but
yeah. Right. Well, you're saying, I'm a lesbian, prove me wrong, but, why don't you prove that you're a lesbian?
Sure.
What do you have to prove?
I'm attracted to women.
Yeah, but biologically you're a man, right?
No.
Yeah, but biologically you're a man.
Sure. When you say biologically I'm a man, what do you mean specifically?
Well, you're like, you know, you're born as a man. Like you have like, you know, you have XY chromosomes. You have
Probably, not guaranteed, but probably.
Well, yeah, but you know, I don't know. But what would like a lesbian think of this? though? Like a woman, like a biological woman, like would a like in your experience, like would like sorry, like I'm trying to think how to word this. Like in your experience, would a biological woman like date you, like? And see, like, is that like...
Again, what you're looking for is cisgender, not biological. You're looking for cisgender. But yeah, there have been many cisgender lesbians that have expressed interest in me.
Right, okay. But like, what if like you had like... Sorry, I don't know if I can like really say this. But like, would a lesbian... Okay, right. Say there's like a trans woman who hasn't had any surgery and... like there's like a lesbian that's like cis, like what about that then? Like how would that work? Like would a cisgendered lesbian date like a pre-operation like trans woman?
Not all lesbians have genital preference. Some do. I do believe that.
I'm sorry, but like I mean what would you define as a lesbian then? Because isn't that like a really big part of it? Like
I believe that it's based on gender. I mean, because like when we walk down the street, we can identify people that we're attracted to around us, right? Hey there, Entrapta, how you doing? We can identify people that we're attracted to without knowing what genitalia they have.
Yeah.
And we can be attracted to them by looking at their expression, etc. How they express themselves. And expression is part of gender.
Yeah, but like I feel like it's like for lesbians, like so like not like aerosexual lesbians, like just like normal lesbians that are like attracted to like you know the women parts, if you know what I mean. Like I would argue that like if someone identifies as a lesbian and they would date a woman with a penis, like that's not really lesbian of them.
Why? They're a woman attracted to another woman.
Yeah, but the woman in question has a penis, which is like you know, like typically a male thing.
Sure, a penis is a male sex characteristic. There's no two ways about it. A penis is a male sex characteristic. But again, attraction can be based on gender.
Okay, but a lot of it, like I'm like, you know, a lot of attraction, especially sexual attraction, is gonna be based on like genitals.
Again, I don't have any issue with genital preference personally, but there are cisgender lesbians that date other women with penises. What would you say about an intersex person? Can intersex people be lesbians?
Well, like I think when it comes to intersex, like usually like there is like obviously like with the two biological genders, like there's when people are intersex, like there is more of one than like the other.
More than two genders. Second of all, I think you're referring to sex and not gender.
Oh, sex then, yeah, sorry. Like I think when someone is intersex, like from what I know, like there is like one sex that is more prominent than the other, like in intersex people. So I mean I guess it kind of comes down to like,
but they could still have a penis. They could be a woman with a penis still.
Well, but I don't really know how intersex works, so I don't really know, like, I'm sorry, like I just like don't really know how to like.
There's intersex is complex. There's any number of ways that a intersex person can be intersex. It could be chromosomal. You can have an ovary and a testy. You can have both genitalia. But there are intersex women who have penises. And they can be lesbian.
Wait, but what would like define them as a woman though? Like if they have a penis, like what, like, you know, like how are we defining that in the context to this?
This is why I say that sex and gender are different things. Biological sex relates to reproductive functions, and gender is psychosocial. What you have between your legs does not determine your gender.
Yeah, but like, you know, like if you're saying that like it's like, you know, like the person is a woman with a penis, like how do we know that it's a woman? Like how do we know that they're a woman?
We listen to them when we ask, hey, I mean, it's not appropriate typically to ask a person.
Well, I'd probably just say like that's the same thing as like, you know, like a pre like operation like trans woman. Like I think that, you know, like if a lesbian isn't really attracted to that, then that's, you know, on them.
Again, I'll say it for the fourth time. I think that genital preference is valid.
Right.
You, as a lesbian, you can't. It's okay.
Yeah, but I don't think like. But I just don't really understand how you're saying that like lesbians can like penises, because that goes absolutely like against what a lesbian is.
So this is why I'm asking you about intersex women. There are women who are intersex who have a penis.
Again, I don't think that.
Vagina. Can an intersex woman be a lesbian?
I don't really think it's a question of can an intersex woman be a lesbian. I'm just like, I think it's more a question of like, would a lesbian, like a cisgendered lesbian, be like attracted to them? You know? I mean, like, yes, sure, they can call themselves a lesbian, but I mean, if they're like biologically, you know, if they have a penis, like they're not really a woman.
So you're literally saying that intersex women are not women. Well, intersex women that have both genitalia are not.
A woman that has a penis. A woman that has a penis can be considered not a woman. Like.
So okay, so what gender is an intersex person who has both genitalia?
Well, I don't know. I like I said, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the topic of intersex. Like, I don't really know much about it.
The point that I'm trying to get you to understand here is that our gender identity is not tied to our genitalia. There are people with both genitalia. There are people with no genitalia, and they can still be men or women or non-binary.
I mean, like, another thing as well, like, I would just like to point out that, like, being intersex, like, isn't, you know, like, it's not a gender, like, it's a genuine medical issue. So I don't know why we're making this all about gender. Like, it truly is, like, you know, it's a diagnosable, like, physical, medical condition.
It doesn't matter why a person either has both genitalia or has no genitalia. They can still have gender and they can still have sexuality. And you're denying that.
I'm not denying it.
Okay, there are people that are born with no genitalia. Can those people be men or women or non-binary?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Okay, so would you?
Like, honestly, like when you really boil it down, like it really just comes down to what you define as a lesbian or what you define as like bisexual.
I don't consider a lesbian to be people with vaginas attracted to other people with vaginas.
So do you think that a lesbian can have a penis?
Yes. I used to be one. I used to be a lesbian with a penis.
Right. Okay.
Thank you for sub.
Well, what would you define a woman as then?
A woman? Let me get the definition. I can never put it on the top of my head. 1 second. I have all my definitions right here. If it would ever load.
It's fine. Take your time.
Okay. An adult who lives and identifies as a female, though they may have been said to have a different sex at birth.
Okay, but like how, like, what do you mean like live as a woman? Like, how do you live as a woman?
There isn't a correct way to live as a woman. You have that innate sense of self.
What does it mean by that?
It doesn't specify. There isn't a correct way to live as a woman.
Right. I mean, I don't really understand, like, you know, I don't really understand your definition. I mean, like, for me personally, I would say that a woman is someone who has XX chromosomes and is within, like, you know, the gender or sex of, like, humans to...
Are you aware that there are more than just XX and XY chromosome combinations?
Well, yeah. Well, I guess that's intersex. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
You could be a woman and not have XX chromosomes. You can be a man and not have XY chromosomes. I am
Okay,
a woman.
but are we talking about like being transgender, or are we talking about intersex when you say that?
Transgender and intersex are different things. You can be.
Yeah, I know, but like, what are you like referring to?
I'm just referring to people's chromosomes. That's all.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, like, for me personally, like, I think that trans women are a category of women, and I think that trans men are a category of men. Like, I don't think that, I don't think that someone with, XY chromosomes can be, like, a woman like me, or like a cisgendered woman. But I do think that they are a category of women, Like, I think there is a lot of differences between a cisgendered woman and a trans woman.
Sure, that's why we have the words. There are differences between cis women and trans women.
Yeah, for sure. But like, I don't really subscribe to I don't really agree. I don't think that I think saying like trans women or women, I don't really agree with that. Like, I think that trans women are a category of women, but they're not. Sorry?
Are we women?
Well, I mean, it's like a hard question to answer because there's so many like different, perspectives on it. But I mean, I guess like, yeah, sure, you're a woman.
Okay. It should be, the answer should be simpler than that. It should really just be a yes or a no.
Well, biologically, no, you're not a woman. But I mean, I guess like if you've transitioned, then yeah, maybe.
So if I'm not a woman, what gender am I?
You're a transgender woman.
Transgender woman is not a gender.
Well, I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, I don't understand like the differences between like gender and all that. But
I've explained the difference between sex and gender. You're welcome to ask
what gender? What gender are you? Well, you identify as a woman, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So I guess you're a woman. But biologically, you're a male, correct?
Yeah, because those are different things.
Yeah,
Woman refers to my gender, male refers to my sex.
Right, okay, so if you identify as a woman, that is what you have, said that your gender is. So yeah, that is your gender.
Fantastic. All right. So trans women are women, trans men are men.
No, trans women are trans women, trans men are trans men.
You're still not getting it. You're saying that you're getting it, but you're not actually. So transgender means that your sex assigned at birth and your gender identity don't align. Transgender is not a gender. So trans woman is not a gender.
Then what is it? Like, if you're
it describes your relationship with sex and gender.
I'm sorry, I'm like really not getting this. Like, I'm sorry, but
it's okay to not get things. That's
like,
I will never ever be upset with anyone for that.
I try like to be understanding and things like that, and like I try to learn. Like, a lot of people in the chat are like, oh, like she's being so ignorant. Like, I promise I'm not. Like, I'm really just trying to like listen.
Please don't worry about that. You're gonna see all different types of combination of comments in chat.
Yeah.
I might be on sub only, but I have plenty of people that don't like me that subscribe to me anyways. So the conversation is between you and I. And I am happy to work with you. You don't have to understand everything that I'm saying. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to say, hey, I don't understand. Can you word that in a different way?
Yeah. No, I just like, I don't know. I'm kind of scared of being like painted out as being a transphobe just for not understanding like something. Yeah.
Okay. So being transgender talks about our relationship with sex and gender. If you're transgender, that means that your sex, male, female, intersex, doesn't align with your gender, a man, woman, non-binary. It's not a gender itself. Gender is part of the equation as to whether you are or aren't transgender, but it doesn't determine if you're transgender.
Right. Yeah, I've got that. Yeah, sorry, I don't really know what to say, but I mean, like, thank you for the conversation. I mean, I like learning new things. I like talking to, I think, like, when you actually talk to trans people, it's a lot more easy to understand. And, yeah. But, yeah, thanks for the conversation.
All right, you have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Bye. Okay, that wasn't a bad conversation. I'm not sure if we got anywhere or not, but I think that there's a possibility. I think there's a possibility there. Thank you, Queen Michaela, for redeeming Hydrate over on Twitch. Adorable Rainbow Fist on Twitch. Okay. Everyone, please keep tapping that screen. We have 13,000 likes. That's awesome. Let's double that. Let's get it up to 25,000 likes. I guess that's a little bit less than double, but... My kitty says hi. This is Maxine. Okay. Next up. Hi, Mama Moon. Maxine likes to cling onto my shoulder, but she can't do that when I'm not wearing, like, when I'm wearing something with, like, straps. Hello, Joystick Guru. How you doing?
Oh, I'm well, and yourself?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
37.
37. Fantastic. Am I a lesbian?
I'm not sure. If we're gonna go, I have an extremely, I guess, nuanced take because I'm coming from a different perspective. I'm trying to learn. Let me, I guess, put that straight up. I'm trying to learn. I've been listening for a few weeks to quite a few different points of view, and as people, we try to draw correlations so we can understand. Correct? Would you agree with that?
Sure.
Okay. I'm coming at this from a way I could try to understand it, and I guess we'll put it this way: I'm a mixed man, racially. Okay, so I'm black, white, and I'm Cherokee Indian, and a lot of conversations that are going on are, I'm sure you've seen them. They're calling white people whitey people now for some reason.
Because TikTok is far more likely to ban people for using the word white.
What?
Black, yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. It's just protecting people's accounts, that's all.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, anywho, in these conversations, there's a lot of these panels that go up that say mixed is not a, I'm not sure, can I say race?
Yeah, you can say race, yeah.
Okay, they're saying that mixed people aren't a race. And to me, as a mixed person, obviously, that's invalidating me as I exist. Yeah, you know, I'm not BLK or YT or just Cherokee.
You can say black.
Okay.
And honestly, my platform, I don't care if you use the word white. I'm not going to be offended by the word white.
Okay.
My understanding is that it would put your account at risk saying white in race-based conversation. That's my understanding.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Anywho, that's saying that we aren't our own race, which obviously we exist. And I, kind of correlate that with your understanding when you mention people that are born with XX chromosome that happen to be male and have all male physical features. When a lot of those things, I'm sorry, I just looked at chat and just threw my mind off. I'm sorry. Okay, so when it comes down to, let me try to get back to that point. Now, with all these, and that's what I guess, because we're not anomalies. Just like, I'm trying to correlate that with some males that happen to be born with XX chromosome, but they have all male features or phenotypes. What you look like is what you are, is what I'm seeing in a lot of those conversations. And is that what we're basing most of these conversations on, as far as it, like your question post above? I am lesbian, prove me wrong.
I would disagree that it's what you look like. I don't think there's a correct way to look like a man or a woman.
Oh, well, I believe the same thing as far as being biracial. I don't think there's a way to look black or white or act a certain way. So, like, I grew up around, just like every person on this planet grew up around male and female. So, you know, there's male characteristics and female characteristics as far as body language, things of that nature. You know, typically you see, you know, women walk a certain feminine way or so on and so forth. Male walk this way. You know what I'm saying? I guess, do you understand where I'm coming from as far as that's concerned?
There are typical expressions and movements and statements, etc., that are typical to being a man or a woman. But I don't think that you have to fall into that category. You don't have to move a certain way to be a woman.
And I don't believe you have to, you know, be a certain way to be, you know, because we are our own, I guess, race of people. You know, so we move a certain way, we talk a certain way. Sometimes we take on characteristics of our different, I guess, races in our family. Like, for example, you know, my speech pattern speeds up when I'm around some of my black side of my family. You know what I mean? And I get a little bit much faster with my words and, you know, talking. When I go on my white side, I enunciate more and speak clearly to make sure it's different. You grow up a certain way and your mind is, you know, I guess, influenced by different traits. So that's how I correlate it with the male and female. When you guys grow up, are you a male growing up or female growing up? And how do you attribute that to absolutes, such as, are you a male or a female? So I'm trying to come in from the understanding of your point of view.
Sure, I'm not 100% sure that I would say that sex is an absolute. Sex is pretty complex. We have an idea as a society that sex is binary. It's just so chromosomes or genitalia, and that's that. But sex is pretty complex, a pretty complex thing. Typically, if you have male genitalia, you're a male. Typically, if you have female genitalia, you're a female.
Yeah, I agree.
But there's so much more to sex. There's neurology, there's hormones, there's your gametes, there's your chromosomes. It's complex stuff, and it doesn't always align nice and pretty the way we expect it to.
Oh, absolutely. I understand that, but do we end up looking at that as more of a sense of, well, I guess it would be many factors, you know, right? Just as there are many factors that make you a woman or many factors that make you a man. Now, coming from your point of view, I don't want to put your business out here because you just restarted the live, but you had mentioned that you have had work done.
Yep.
Okay. So you've had work done, and I think, obviously, you see that's what goes with, I guess, all of these labels. Yeah, and I correlate that back to being a mixed man. Every time I put down an application, I'm sure you guys can correlate this exactly the same way. Are you male or female or whatever they put? They've added more options now. They really haven't for races. And when I come to applications, I hesitate clicking certain boxes because I'm not just one thing or, you know, one race. I am a multitude of races. I'm not just black. I'm not just white. I'm not just one thing. And I don't want to click, I don't want to check other because I feel like that kind of invalidates me as a human being.
Forms are so wildly inconsistent. They don't get gender and sex right most of the time. They don't get race right most of the time. I don't even think that white is a race. That's my understanding. Like you have like, it's my understanding.
Oh, you cut out there at the very end there, but yeah.
Yeah, I just think that the forums that we use for companies, for government stuff, for everything, are just woefully inaccurate when it comes to things like race, ethnicity, and gender and sex.
Yeah, I agree because it's something, I don't know, it's weird. It's something else, and it catches me off a loop because everyone is so divided and trying to categorize it. See, that's, I guess, my point of view, is everyone is so stuck on trying to categorize and put people in the boxes and label them one certain thing. But at the same time, you have to have a basis to come from so you can, I guess, extrapolate from there and figure things out. I mean, that's common sense, right? I mean, wouldn't you agree?
I'm sorry, would you mind repeating real quick? I got distracted. I apologize.
Oh, no, you're fine. That everyone is so caught up in putting and labeling and categorizing and putting everyone in neat little boxes. And I kind of lost my train of thought there too. Put people into boxes, and when how do I say that again? I guess to make it more clear.
I mean, as far as labels are concerned, I think that there are times where they're needed, but that's not the majority of cases.
Oh, there you go.
Day-to-day life, no need for these kind of labels. But when we're talking specifically about differences between gender and sex, when we're talking about the difference between trans people and cis people, etc., those situations are important.
Oh, absolutely. Since you, I don't mean to cut you off, but since you jogged my memory, but we have to have those absolutes so we can draw from a base. So we can, I guess, deduce in our head, is this a person, are they a male or female, so on and so forth. And that brings me, I guess, to the bathrooms, the topic there. If we're supposed to go to a men or a women's bathroom, are we just phenotypically looking at the picture on the male door and the female door? Okay, the female door is more often than not shows a female in a dress, right? And the male is wearing some type of suit or something, right?
Yeah, and the most common exception to that would be just men's signs and women's signs. We don't typically see male and female.
Yeah, we that's what we usually associate those with, and that's, I guess, that would be a gender specific attribute, correct?
Yeah.
So when it comes down to, and obviously you have a different point of view because you have had those, you want to call them surgeries or enhancements to yourself to fully live the life that you're living. So I guess in that sense, for you specifically, if I was talking about you specifically, I don't mean to be jumping topics, but then that would be the bathroom you use would be what you present as. And you are also, medically, at least on the medical sense, you have fully transitioned, I guess you can say.
I don't love the concept of fully transitioned. I guess fully transitioned is going to be something different every single time.
I guess that's the mind that's just the word that just popped in my head. I'm sorry. That's so.
But fully transitioned is going to be something completely different to one person. Like one person may not change anything at all, but it's still just as valid as me, who's changed just about everything.
Okay, that was just a word that popped in my head just to keep fluidity of the conversation going. So if I misnamed, then I'm sorry.
I am a little confused as to what direction we're going here. Like, what point are we trying to make?
I'm trying to understand specifically where you're coming from. Now, I guess to speak on the question above, if you don't mind me asking, when did you? I think you already answered that in the last live. When did you start your journey?
If we're talking about medical transition, about 33 years old.
Okay. I guess if we're going off of what we can not really prove, that's something I'm gonna have to ponder, I guess. I guess I'm not ready for that full debate without absorbing what we've talked about so far. Is that fair to say?
I apologize. I have a bad habit.
Oh no, you're fine. I said I would like the chance to absorb everything that we've
absolutely. Yep.
spoken on before I guess address the panel discussion head on. So I guess I appreciate your time, and I hope I didn't make a complete aspirin out of myself and everybody.
I don't think so. I think we had an interesting conversation.
Well, I appreciate your time.
You have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Right. Next up, everyone keep tapping that screen share the live. We're so close to our goal. Our goal is 25,000 likes. We're at 22,000. So if everyone taps the screen 50 times, we'll be there in no time. Yeah, let's get some W guests going in chat, guys. W guests in chat.
Hi.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. How old are you, please?
I'm 21.
21. All right. Am I a lesbian?
I do have some questions for you before I answer that. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Okay, so you said that you got work done. Did you get work done because you wanted to be more like cisgender women, or did you get work done because you felt like you weren't in the body that you were meant to be in?
Yeah, I did it to alleviate dysphoria. My dysphoria was causing me significant distress, causing me anxiety, causing me depression, and I needed to alleviate that dysphoria.
And then before you started getting your work done, before you kind of figured out who you were and then everything like that, were you still into women before, or were you into males before? That's like one of my other questions.
Sorry?
Before you did your transition, were you into women previously as well, or were you into men as well?
Women.
Women? So would you not consider yourself pansexual rather than a lesbian because you really didn't care about what a woman looked like or anything like that before? You just cared about a woman. So say you were pansexual before and you don't care about what they are, and you didn't care what a woman was before. So would you consider yourself pansexual now, or asexual? You wouldn't. And why is that?
Because I'm only attracted to women and non-binary folk.
You're only attracted to women. Like you said before, you don't know a woman who is a woman or anything like that just by facial features. So say you are attracted to a woman and you don't know she's a woman and she's a trans male. Would that be something that's
trans man, you mean?
Bounds for you?
Sorry, trans man, is that what you meant?
Yes, I said if you were attracted to a woman.
I would think that that's an attractive man, and that would be I would not have interest in pursuing.
Okay, so if you don't know that's a woman going through to be a trans male, and you found her or found him very, very attractive, and later down the line you found out that this woman was going through a process to become a trans male, would that be a deal breaker for you?
Yes, that would be a deal breaker. I'm not interested in dating men.
But you didn't know that before. Like how you said, you can't really see anybody, can't really see what they are.
Like even people that are presenting as men, I can still recognize attractive men. For instance, Mr. Jones just came into the live. Mr. Jones is a very attractive man.
Oh, and then I did have one more question. You brought up like a while ago intersex people. I feel like intersex people is a completely different subject coming to trans talks, because they are born with male and female parts and they are born with more chromosomes. So it is different from a intersex woman or an intersex man to actually have to figure out their identity, because they both have these both different parts, and they have to like put up with this. I feel like as a trans woman, as you are, it will be hard to find out what you are, but it's not as hard as it would be for a intersex man or an intersex woman, because you have your part already. They have all these parts and they still have to figure out what part they want to use. They still have to figure out what part they have to use to produce and everything like that.
All intersex people have both genitalia. Some have a chromosome, and some have a testy and an ovary. Some have various chromosomal combinations. Not all intersex people know that they're intersex.
not all of them know. Some of them don't know until they're even older. I completely understand that. I have a friend that's intersex, so I completely understand that.
People know they're trans until we're older. Some know young, some know when we're older.
So, question: do you think that a 5-year-old child knows they're transgender or not?
A 5-year-old is not likely to know what it means to be transgender, but they can know their gender.
So, how would you tell a 5-year-old what gender they are? Because a 5-year-old only knows what they are. They only know what they are seeing. They only know what their parents are telling them. So, wouldn't it be weird for a 5-year-old to basically start coming out of nowhere and saying, I'm a lesbian?
You do not tell people their gender. People tell you their gender, not the other way around. We do not tell people what gender they are.
Okay.
So Stoner, I think what you're missing here, right, is that gender identity develops in the brain, regardless of your sex. It's irrelevant. So like an intersex person will still develop their gender identity the same as a male or a female. Like it's not about because you're intersex, you get to choose your gender. Like that's kind of what you sounded like you were implying.
No, I'm saying if a child comes to their parents and tells their parents.
No, I was talking about before you started bringing up the child.
That's what I was talking about right now.
Right, when you were talking about, okay, we're going back. When you were talking about intersex people, right?
Yes, I was talking about intersex people.
Right. So intersex people's gender identity develops in the brain the same way a binary person or a binary trans person, it is irrelevant of your sex. It's same as a cisgender person. We all just develop our gender identities in our brains.
So like I said before, you don't think that somebody that is intersex, it takes them longer to develop their identity than somebody is that's transgender? You don't?
No, because it's irrelevant to your sex.
How is that irrelevant to your sex?
You still develop your gender identity in your brain when you're a child.
How? A child doesn't know.
Because that's how gender
I'm
identity
sorry,
works.
I don't see a 5-year-old really figuring out their gender identity at 5. I don't see that happening. I'm sorry, I don't.
So I have evidence to the contrary. There's a survey done in 2015 on 27,000 transgender people. I could bring it up on my iPad, it wasn't dead, but it was a majority of people start to feel differently about their gender before the age of 5, and about, I think 15%, again, I could be wrong because I can't open the study, but it was around 10 to 15% know that they're trans, like know for sure, before the age of 10. And it says no relevance to sex because they didn't mention if anyone was intersex.
Okay, bye.
I guess. How you guys doing?
All right. So I was in the shower when I was listening, and it just felt to me like she was just trying to invalidate you with the way she was wording things. So.
And steamrolling too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's bring up the next guest. Oh, we hit our goal. Thank you so much, guys.
Mel, be for real. I am. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello, Jocelyn. How you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing fantastic.
What?
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 34.
Jocelyn, you have a bad echo.
Can you hear me now?
I mean, I can hear you, but the problem is I can hear me too.
What about now?
Yeah, I can still. I mean, that's awesome.
Should I just like rejoin?
If you're on Bluetooth, getting off Bluetooth can help. Otherwise, going back to your phone's home screen and coming back in can help.
All right, hold on. Does this work now?
Does that work? Unmute yourself first. Is it working? No, you still have Bluetooth.
No, I'm not on Bluetooth. I don't have my AirPods on, actually. How about now?
Hello. Bad. Really bad.
Should I just like rejoin?
We can try that.
All right, let me rejoin. All right. Disconnect.
I had an echo when I joined a live earlier, and I had to completely restart my phone. That's what I need to do. I don't know why it does that. It's some glitch, but
like TikTok just focuses on adding, on working on the shop and ads, and that's it. They just ignore the rest of the app. They are going to be the death of their own app. It's not going to be the ban. It's going to be TikTok. People are going to.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, it's still bad, Jocelyn. Sorry.
Damn. All right. So I'll just have to restart the app. All right. Thanks.
yeah, try to restart your phone. I had to do that earlier.
That might work. I don't get kicked ever. I think Adora understands me, but I don't know. Faith Call. How you doing, Faith Call? I don't know who. I don't recognize you, but I'm glad you don't get kicked. I do try not to kick guys. I try to give people a chance to talk. I only kick when people either use slurs, make threats, or are just exceptionally toxic. I don't even do Cash App to kick anymore. Hello, Honda. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
28.
28. Fantastic. And am I listening?
So I'm gonna have to disagree very respectfully. The way I see it is, like you said earlier, your sex is male. Your gender is what you decide your gender is. I'm with that. But when it comes to sexuality, if you were a natural born male and you were already attracted to females and then you decided to transition at 33 medically, that's still hetero to me, because in my eyes, because you liked females before you transitioned to a female.
I was always attracted to women, and I was attracted to women before I made changes to my sex characteristics. My sex characteristics do not determine my gender. I was a woman the entire time.
Right, and really quick, you don't decide what your gender is. That was incorrect.
Do you want to correct something that I said earlier real quick, guys? I did say that white wasn't a race. I was wrong. White is a race.
Well, wait, so I thought the person decides what their gender is.
No, they don't. It's not a decision. It's just a recognition.
That doesn't make. I'm lost on that concept.
Because people aren't choosing to be trans, right? They're not choosing to change genders. That's just a common misconception.
Right. So outside of that, though, but the sex at birth.
No, so it's not outside of that, right? Like gender identity literally develops in the brain.
Right. I get the whole gender thing. That's why I said outside of that, we're talking about sex now.
Okay, so also attraction doesn't necessarily have to do with sex. It can do with sex or gender.
Right, but it can deal with sex. So what I'm saying is, if
it can, but it cannot, right? Like
females.
Okay, as myself, right, as a cisgender woman who considers herself straight, I am attracted to people that I perceive to be men, regardless of genitalia, because I don't know genitalia just looking at someone. Because I base my my sexual orientation on what I see, on my attraction.
Right, but biologically, if a male likes females, they're heterosexual, right? Regardless.
No.
That's.
It's not like it's not. But it's either male.
I don't understand how that's wrong.
Right, because lesbian means either females attracted to females, or women attracted to women, or women attracted to females, or some version of that, as long as they're not men.
Exactly. And like I said, for myself, if I look at a trans man and find them attractive and they have female genitalia, that doesn't make me bisexual.
Wait, so then how does that work the other way? I'm trying to understand But like,
Because it can go by gender to gender, right? It doesn't necessarily have to do with sex.
genitalia has nothing to do with it, because that's like kind of like the whole organ that is centered around sex. Like,
Right, so if you take that out of it, right, Adora is a woman attracted to women, right? So you're going gender to gender, not sex.
right, but if we're going by the birth given sex here.
No, you're not. We're going by gender.
Right. We don't ask people what sex they were assigned at birth when we date them.
Exactly.
So, but how can that just be ignored? I'm like confused on that aspect.
Because typically we don't know.
It's not ignored. So let me give you an example of how it's not ignored. Because Adora is a trans woman who's a lesbian. I'm a non-binary person. I recognize that I'm male. I'm attracted to men, whether they are cis men or trans men. Genitalia doesn't play a role in that. I am not attracted to women, whether they have a penis or a vagina. Don't care. I'm not attracted to women. I'm gay. So it can work that way, but sometimes it goes gender to gender. There's genital attraction and there's gender attraction. You can have one, both, or neither.
Exactly. Like I literally could describe my attraction the same exact way that Hot Dog did, except I am a woman, right? So I go by my gender identity and my attraction and consider myself to be heterosexual or straight, as they consider themselves to be gay. But we have the same attraction.
But see, like, doesn't that just sound like it seems like some, like, certain things are just ignored and it's picked and choose whatever, I guess, the person wants it to be is what it is, but like,
no,
there's still
like
factual basis in science and biology.
No, because there's this idea that people think that if you see someone who's trans, you're going to know they're trans, and then you can know that you're not going to be attracted to them. And that's not necessarily the case. You could see a trans, I could see a trans man and be attracted to them as I am attracted to men. Right? So someone who is heterosexual, like you could be a man, right? And be attracted to a trans woman just by looking at her and not know the sex and still be heterosexual.
Right, but is what I'm saying is we're like ignoring science here in biology.
No, we're not.
I mean, that's what it sounds like. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but from my standpoint, it seems like all science and biology is just out of the window. It's like, hey, I want to be this and I want to be this, so I'm going to be this.
I feel like maybe you're not listening. Like, okay, so yourself, right? When you base your attraction on someone, is it by, because there are different types of attraction, right? Because you can be demisexual, which doesn't have to do with perceiving the person. It has to do with like, an emotional connection, which is a completely different thing. But if you're basing your attraction, right, on perceiving someone, on looks alone, right, it's very individualized, which is why it can be so complex, right? So you, yourself, Honda Boy, do you consider yourself heterosexual?
Yeah.
Do you base that on attraction by looking at women?
I base that on I like women. Like, I don't know.
You don't like all women, right?
If the woman looks good, then I like her, but I
so
know that I like
you're not
what
attracted
women
to all women, correct?
No, I'm not pansexual or whatever.
No.
I don't see what they look like.
Okay. No. That wouldn't be pan, right? Because pansexual people are not attracted to all people. Right. So even though you are heterosexual, you recognize that you are not attracted to all women, correct?
I mean, I feel like I'm getting set up here. So
no, you're not. You're not. I'm literally just trying to get you to understand.
Okay, if a woman is attractive,
because I am not attracted to all men, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Then yes, I mean, yeah,
of course, there's going to be women that you don't find attractive. So you go by what you perceive to be a woman, correct?
Well, I wouldn't say, but I know they're a woman if I'm.
See, this is what I was pointing out earlier, right? What are okay? Do you view trans women as women?
Not one that I'm attracted to. If they want to be a woman, then cool.
That's
but
the thing. You're just assuming that you've never looked at a trans woman and been attracted to her. And that's why this gets so confusing, because a lot of, especially heterosexual men, do not like the idea of possibly being attracted to a trans woman. Therefore, you want to base the entire thing on being attracted to a sex.
No, I'm saying I want to be with a woman for a woman's natural biology.
Okay, so that's a genital attraction, which is genital attractions are valid because they make up part of sexual orientation. For some of us, we don't have that.
Right. I'm the same way, right? If I'm attracted to again, I told you earlier, if I'm attracted to a trans man, I look at a trans man, I'm like, man, he's attractive, right? But he does have female genitalia. That's not something that I'm interested in. But I can still recognize that I'm attracted to a man.
Right, but so back to, if a person is born a male and they like females and then they transition and make the full.
No, because that's the thing, right? They're not like they're not changing. They're not changing genders. Like Adora has been a girl and a woman, even though she didn't affirm herself at a younger age. So even before, she was always attracted to women, right? Or people that she perceives as women or finds attractive femininely, if it's non-binary person. But the point is, if she was attracted to women before, she transitioned, right? And is attracted to women now, she's always been a girl or a woman attracted to women.
But that's against all laws of science and biology.
It is not. What do you mean laws of science? It just sounds like you just have an aversion to trans people here, honestly.
The only laws are science are Newton laws of motion.
So now you're assuming what I've stated multiple times, that if that is what they want to be, yes, but when it comes to
it's not about that is what they want to be. It's literally who they are. That's the problem here. You're not recognizing trans identity as valid.
Well, it sounds like things are just being made up, and that's what it sounds like. But with science and biology of natural human birth, there are two sexes.
That's not true either.
I mean, show me somewhere that says that there's more than two, please.
Intersex people existing. Sex is a bimodal distribution.
But intersex is made up of what? What is it made up of?
It's made up of, it's not made up of anything. It's somewhere on the spectrum between male and female. On the two ends, and this is where it becomes bimodal. This is where it becomes bimodal. There's two ends of this distribution, male and female.
There we go.
You can fall somewhere in between.
But there's still two. There's not more than two. It's not a triangle.
There's two ends.
It's a two-ended spectrum.
Right, it's a two-ended spectrum. Male and female are at the ends of the spectrum of this distribution. You can fall somewhere on this distribution that is neither male nor female.
Right, and then you consider yourself intersex, not male or female.
Yes.
You're considered to be intersex.
But intersex
is the third category.
From male and female.
Okay. This seriously just reminds me of like the resistance to cisgender topic, right? Where it just comes down to you having some type of aversion to trans people.
You can say I have an aversion all day. I don't.
I can tell by the things you're saying. Right? It's not about me just coming up with this out of my ass.
So hold on. You can assume what I have an aversion to, but I can't assume nothing about you.
Would you date
I can't assume anything about you, or I'm
I
being
can pick
hateful.
up context clues.
Would you date a trans woman?
About me?
Honda, would you date a trans woman?
No, because it's not what I'm attracted to.
Would you recognize that you could be attracted to a trans woman whether or not you want to date them?
I like biological women because
Right, and you recognize that you cannot tell if someone is cis or trans. You cannot tell if a woman is cis or trans just by looking at them 100% of the time.
What do you mean just by looking at them? I'm
Right, so you don't base your attraction on looking at someone? That's what that's the whole point of this. I base my attraction on on looking at someone being like, damn, he's hot or whatever. Right?
Okay.
Do
but
you not do that with
Not
women?
everyone thinks the same as you. But see,
That's
I'm not
why I
going
was
to make
asking for
assumptions here,
clarification
because I don't
on-
want to be called hateful or anything, because you can assume about me, but I can't assume about you. So I see how that goes.
What are you talking about? You can assume something about me if I give you context clues.
I'm not giving you any contact clues.
Yes, you are. You literally are.
I like biological women. What is wrong with that? How is that me
There's
being
nothing
aversion
wrong
to
with
trans
you
women?
liking
If I say I'm perfectly
cisgender
okay with,
women.
if that's what someone is, then that's what they are.
There's nothing wrong with you liking or thinking that you're only attracted to cisgender women, but I'm trying to get you to understand that sometimes you may see a woman that you are attracted to that's not cisgender. And you should be okay with that, recognizing that you're still attracted to women.
There's a difference between saying someone looks good and, hey, I would like to be in
There
bed with
is,
that person.
yes,
there is totally
What do you base your sexuality on? Your sexual orientation? What do you base it on? I personally base it on attraction, not sexual attraction. Attraction.
Well, that's you. That's you.
Right, that's why I've been asking you this question this entire time.
And I said multiple times that if it's a biological woman and I am aware of that, then yes, I will proceed further. Just like Adora
It's not
said
about perceiving further or pursuing, I think is the word you
said
used for.
earlier, the same thing I'm saying, just the other way around with a trans man, and said that would be a deal breaker. That would be a deal breaker.
Yes, but I can still recognize that I can look at trans men and be attracted.
It's not what I prefer, so I mean, that's
not the point.
I'm not going to be
That's not the point about what you prefer. The point is, can you recognize that you may look at a trans woman and find her attractive?
I mean, if someone looks good, they look good. I mean, I have
That's
male
the
friends
point.
that I'm like, yo, that dude, he's a good looking guy. Like, what's the point there? That's
Okay,
so
So
menial.
that's not the question being asked, Honda. If you were to see a trans woman, have no idea that she was trans, right? Think that she is a cisgender woman, and let's say you start hitting on her, right? Is that a possibility if you have no idea that she's trans?
Yeah,
It doesn't matter if you're going to
I find
pursue
out,
further
I'm
or
gonna
not.
say, hey, sorry, that's not what I'm attracted to. This isn't going to
Oh
work.
my god! So
Sure.
you
do recognize you have attraction.
We're going in circles here, Honda. Do you have a different point to make?
You literally said that you do recognize that you may find her attractive, which is totally valid if you're like, hey, if you don't have the genitalia I'm looking for, that's okay.
Right. Well, see, I was trying to talk about the question above, and that's what I'm stating.
Right. And because Adora is a woman attracted to women, that makes her a lesbian, period.
But it doesn't, though.
Okay. Whatever.
Do you have a different point to make? Okay, we're literally just doing laps.
No, because
being
there's
lesbian
no
is just-
getting through anything. It's either
being lesbian is just being someone who's not a man, who's attracted to somebody who's not a man. I've tried to phrase it different ways because people have had a problem with the way that I phrase it, but there really is no other way to phrase it, because it could be female attracted to female, but if you're female attracted to trans man, you're not a lesbian. So
Yeah, and it's so problematic because we don't know, right? Like when you just look at someone and you find them attractive, you don't know their sex. And that's like the entire point that I was trying to make to him.
We rarely know a person's sex for certain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've recognized, like being on this app, I have recognized that there are many trans men that I find attractive. That does not make me a lesbian, or it does not make me bisexual. Like that's the entire point.
Yep. Okay. Kayla is not connecting. Kayla, if you're watching, how you doing? Cassie, you're next. We got 19 people in requests. That is awesome. We're gonna go for another 56 minutes, guys. 56 minutes. For the last hour of the live, regardless of our view count, we are going to be sub only. Okay. If you are in the queue to come up, typically sending 1 or 2 roses will get you to the top of the line. Hey there, Fairy King. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you. All right, guess not connecting again. Hello, Nick. How you doing? Nick, you with me? Nick fell asleep.
You know how often I fall asleep to lives, like all the time.
Remember when I used to fall asleep on live?
Yes.
How you doing, Happening?
Just call me Haven. So the question, right?
Please know your age first. Sorry.
I'm 21.
Fantastic. All right, go for it.
So, are you a lesbian? I would disagree with this point because you were born male.
Why does that mean that I can't be a lesbian?
So, can a guy, a male, be lesbian?
Yes, a male can be lesbian.
How? Explain that one to me.
A male doesn't have to be a guy.
Please, Mel.
No.
I would like to hear from the person who...
A male does
answering.
not have to be a guy. That's the point.
But it does, though.
No, they do not. Males can be women.
No, they cannot.
Why not?
Because they were either born male or female at birth due to bone structure and simple XY chromosomes.
The bones? The bones?
Bones, yes. You can identify a corpse if it is male or female just by the hip bone.
No, you actually can't. The first things they would go for when identifying someone by their bones is teeth. And that would lead to gender identity over sex.
What is gender identity? Go ahead, explain that to me.
Yeah, sure. Gender identity is a I'm trying to find the right words for it. It's essentially the way that your brain identifies with the world around you as it relates to gender.
Okay. So you just said it's the way that your brain incorporates it. So it is your opinion, right? It is how you feel. It is not how you are.
No, I'm sorry. I said brain, not mind.
What's the difference between your brain and your mind?
Okay, your brain is a physical biological structure. Your mind is a non-tangible entity that your brain produces.
So being conscious is your mind living through the world, right?
Yes.
That's what you're trying to get at? Okay. So, like I said again, it is the way you feel. It is your opinion, how you think of the world.
It's not opinion.
No, this can actually be substantiated by neurology.
So like
there is
neural deficiencies, correct? Such as...
No, not what I said. Let me finish. Not what I said. Let me finish. So there was a study conducted in 2022 comparing trans women to cisgender men and cisgender women. And I'd like to preface this by saying that this is specifically not a diagnostic measure, it is a substantiative measure. It found that the white matter microstructures, the regional proportions of your brain, including the hypothalamus, and the biochemical responses to external stimuli, all of these, by the way, brain, not mind, are more closely related to your gender than your sex. So transgender women are typically, their brain structures and chemical compositions are typically shifted towards cisgender.
So they have an imbalanced chemical reaction in their brain.
I would not call that's nowhere in the study does it call it an imbalance. It's not an imbalance. It is just somewhere on the spectrum.
And even if it were an imbalance, that wouldn't change the fact that our identities are valid.
You can see the world however you want to see it, right?
It's not about a want.
Yeah, you guys all go right to wants.
Yeah, no, gender identity refers to an internal sense of that people have of who they are. And that comes from interaction of biological traits, developmental influences, and the environmental conditions. It's it's just a truth that you know, like you just know this about yourself. It's not a chemical imbalance. It's not anything that you're trying to make it like much deeper.
It is.
And I had no idea that this topic was just like the cisgender topic. It's actually really wild.
The cisgender topic. What's that?
That was me talking directly to Adora, because people who resist the adjective cisgender tend to have other opinions that are rooted in transphobia, and it works the same way with this topic. People who will not recognize that Adora is a lesbian tend to have transphobic opinions.
I'm not scared of trans people at all. It's not transphobia.
Who doesn't know the definition of transphobia?
A phobia, or phobos, meaning fear in Greek. I'm not afraid.
Now give me the definition of transphobia, because it's not the same as phobia. You got to find out.
Okay, so what's arachnophobia?
An irrational fear or aversion to.
Okay, so it is a fear.
A fear, aversion.
Arachnophobia is not transphobia, my guy.
It's either a fear, an aversion, or a prejudice.
Is water? Okay, do you know what hydrophobia is? Like, what it means for something? Are things that are hydrophobic afraid of water?
They just have a repulsion to them.
An aversion.
Sure.
Yeah, you have an aversion to trans people.
Exactly. You're not afraid.
I would bet anything that he wouldn't date a trans woman.
No, I wouldn't,
find trans people
because
to be
a trans
valid.
woman is a man.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. You're just a transphobe guy. Say it with your full chest. Don't hide it.
Yeah, sure. I have an aversion to trans people because
they're transphobic. You just said it, my guy.
Okay, cool. I'm accepting that fact.
Cool.
But that still doesn't...
You're okay with that. You're okay with being transphobic.
You are a man who likes women. That is hetero, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
She's not a man, so that's where you're stuck.
straight.
And if you want to just keep invalidating her, go ahead. That doesn't make you correct.
I'm not invalidating anybody. You can.
You
be called
absolutely
whatever you
are.
want to be called.
Like, why is it up to you to say if you're invalidating someone? That is
That
wild.
response blows my mind. I'm telling you, I'm a woman, and you're saying, no, you're not. And then I tell you that you're invalidating what I just said, and you're like, no, actually, I was validating what you just said. What?
I never
When
said
you
I
say
was
that, no,
validating
you're
it.
not
I just said I
invalidating
wasn't
us?
invalidating it.
How are if I'm telling you that I'm a woman, and you're like, no, you're not? How in the world?
Because that's the way I perceive this world, okay? I perceive that you are a man, all right? You perceive that you are a woman.
Way to not
That's
answer my
completely
question.
fine. But you are a man.
Is my stance that I'm a woman valid?
You can call yourself that, sure.
That's not what I asked.
In my mind, no. I believe that you are delusional.
So,
Oh my
you
God.
are in fact invalidating me.
And it's just so silly, right? Because if I'm like, I perceive you as a gay man, who's right? Me or you?
The masses,
No,
the
I'm talking
facts,
about you.
the statistics.
I forgot what your name was, but happening. If I perceive you as a gay man, who is right? Me or you?
The truth.
Exactly. And the truth is what?
I am bisexual.
Great, right? So my perception of you is irrelevant because the truth is that you are bisexual. So
Exactly.
your perception of Adora is irrelevant because the truth is she's a woman.
But the facts say that he is a
The
man.
facts say that she's a woman.
Haven, what is the necessary condition for being a man?
The necessary condition, XY chromosomes.
XY chromosomes. So you cannot be a man if you don't have XY chromosomes.
Yes.
Okay, are
Well,
you
you
aware
have XX, but you are a female.
Okay, so Jesus Christ. There are some men who are assigned male at birth, who go their entire lives identifying as men, who have penises, etc., all that kind of good stuff, but they find out later in life that they have XX chromosomes. Are they men?
How are you completely changing biology? That doesn't work.
We're not. This is fitting within biology.
Yeah.
So somebody who is born male with male reproductive system, male secondary sex characteristics as they grow up, but then find out through a karyotype test that they have XX chromosomes. That is possible.
So, okay, so at birth, you're saying they were born XY.
No.
No, because we're not getting karyotyped when we're born. Right?
Yeah.
Like, so if I found out tomorrow that I got karyotyped and I found out that tomorrow that I have XY chromosomes, my identity is not changing. I'm still a woman.
All right, I got to reset because he got banned. He got banned for hate speech.
Yes.
Boo.
That's a shame. We have 1,200 people with sub only on. That's a shame. All right.
All right.
Be right back. See you guys in a minute.
Hello. Hello.
How you doing?
Do you speak Spanish?
I don't. Sorry.
Okay, so the question is, you are not transgender.
Okay, I need to know how old you are first.
You are not transgender because you are like, you don't look woman.
I just need to know how old you are first.
You need look woman for see, I'm transgender.
Awesome. Fantastic. How old are you?
I'm transgender woman.
Okay, I'm gonna have to move on. It sounds like we have a language barrier here. I do need to know your age if we want to continue. Kennedy, you with me? No, not with me? Okay. You have a good day, Kennedy.
Hey.
Welcome back, Mel.
Another reason, really quick, why this topic like gets to me, I guess, is because my daughter is also a lesbian. So she literally has a girlfriend. Like, I just find this to be so silly to just like. I think my point with the perception thing was really good, honestly.
I thought so.
Yeah.
All right, next up. Oh, here's some major op. Huge op. Biggest op.
Ugh, hot dog.
Ew, I hate hot dog.
Hello, Leah. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
I'm 30.
Fantastic. And am I a lesbian?
I believe so, yes. I believe that when
I just
you
got
were
flagged for hate speech. I gotta reset.
Well, oh god.
gosh. What?
What could possibly have been said? I just got flagged for hate speech.
What?
Leah, come right back up. I'll bring you up first, all right? But I have to reset.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Right back. Why don't I take guests 1v1? I do 1v1s all the time. The majority of the time is 1v1s. Love your hair color, thank you. I'm gonna try to bring as many people up as I can. I'm waiting for Leah to come back up first, because Leah was next, and unfortunately Leah didn't get her chance to talk. Is it blue or purple? It's purple, but I guess there might be a little bit of blue. But I would say, yeah, it's pink and purple. All right, still waiting on Leah. Leah is next up. I want to give Leah a chance to come back. because we didn't even get a chance to talk about literally anything. Language barrier, you think? I mean, there was a language barrier. Thank you for the comments on my eyeliner. I really love this new style that I'm doing. Going a little bit higher on the wings, and then rather than doing the whole waterline, I just do like a quarter of it and then come back out. I love it. It's fun. Your tattoo's pretty, thank you. Got the trans pride butterflies, the lesbian pride butterfly. It's fun. Okay, Leah's back. Welcome to come back as well, if they'd like to. Hello, Leah. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. All right, I already got your age. Okay, so what would you like to say?
I fully believe you're a lesbian. I believe that when you're born, your hormones are in balance to where you might come out as a gender, but that's not truly what you are because it's all based on hormone chemical balance.
I do want to be clear, though, that being transgender is not about hormone imbalances.
Oh, it's not. Okay. That is something I do want to be a little bit more educated on. I am fully for the...
You're muted. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, you cut out.
Right, yeah.
Sorry.
You're muted. You're good now. I can hear you now.
Okay. I want to be more educated. I've been watching all of your lives, and I truly believe everything that you say. But how is it? I guess because I am wrong with the hormonal imbalance. What exactly is it then? Because I do believe you are born. You know how you end up being. Whether it's, by trans, I don't know how to really explain it, but I do think that you are lesbian being trans.
Okay, fantastic. So, transgender just means that your sex assigned at birth and your gender identity don't align. So if you're assigned male at birth, you identify as anything other than a man, you're transgender.
Does it have anything to do with... Okay, so I just have a question. I have a friend who they had done blood work on a baby before. They do blood work on a baby before baby is born, and it came out that the blood work said she was male, but she had come out with female parts. So what would that... I mean, do they have a higher chance of being transgender later on in life?
As far as I'm aware, intersex people are just as likely or not likely to be transgender as anyone else. I'm not aware of any differences in the demographic.
Okay, so it really doesn't have to do with like hormonal imbalance, more testosterone, more estrogen.
Right, it has nothing to do with that. My testosterone levels were that of a typical male.
Okay. That's good to know. I always thought it was hormone stuff, but
gender identity develops in the hypothalamus specifically. If you're looking for a biological aspect to it, it's the brain. The brain is where our gender lies.
Oh, okay. But yeah, for my opinion, I fully think you are lesbian. So.
Awesome. Leah, anything else you wanted to ask?
No, I'm good. Forget all the haters. They know nothing. You only know you and your identity. So
exactly. I appreciate you, Leah. You have a good one.
You too.
Heartpuff TZ. That's a cool name, TZ. If I'm saying that right. Thank you for the rose. Jesus, if I can say words. All right. Let's bring up some people I don't normally bring.
Hello.
Welcome back, Hot Dog.
Hello.
How's it going, Autumn?
I just wanted to ask you if it hurt.
Are you about to say when I fell from heaven?
Yeah.
So much pain. The fall was terrifying.
Also, I don't know if angels can be lesbians, but if they can, you're definitely a lesbian.
All right. Thank you so much, Autumn. Appreciate you.
I love you, Adora.
Sorry, I took the wind out of your sails there. I'm sorry. You have a good one, Autumn.
You too.
Autumn's awesome. W Autumn in chat, guys. W Autumn in chat.
Autumn.
Good afternoon, Adora. How are you doing today, you beautiful
I'm doing fantastic, Wookie. How old are you, please?
I am 53. I'm going to be 54 next month.
Am I a lesbian?
Yes, you are. I'm a lesbian. I'm actually married to a woman, and I actually came up because remember when Haven was up here just a couple of minutes ago, and he was not screaming, but he was basically saying that he could tell just by looking at someone if they are cis or not. Because he said he's only attracted to cis females.
You can't. And yeah, like when people say that they can always tell, they're just wrong.
May I show something?
Sure.
Okay, it's not going to be inappropriate, I promise.
Okay, I've had people do it.
I swear I would never. I would never. Because I was going to ask him, okay, if you can tell just by looking at someone, cis or trans?
Wookie, I appreciate you, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't like to do.
That's fine. I'm done. Nope.
Comparisons.
Won't do it. Won't do it. I was just going to prove a point that just by looking at somebody that you can't tell, it's physically impossible. Just saying. That's all. All right.
Appreciate you, Wookie.
Thank you. Love you, girls.
Hello, Rosie. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
How old are you, please?
I am 21.
21. All right. And am I a lesbian?
Right. So my opinion is very much. It honestly, there's a big spectrum. From where I am and where my head is with it. I believe I'm completely, transgender, you are what you're born with, and then if you want to be a woman, or if you are a woman from birth, I completely understand that. If you're, a cis man and you have, I don't know how to describe it, to be honest, but yeah, I do believe you can be a lesbian if you're a trans woman, I do. But my one question is, the thing that, is that one confusing bit for me is, if you were walking down the street and you saw a person who appears to be a woman, but this person actually identifies as a trans man, but they have the characteristics of a woman, and you have attraction to them, until you find out that they actually identify as a trans man, does that mean that you're still a lesbian with, lesbian views upon this person? Because then wouldn't that be misgendering them? I don't know if that makes sense, but
I'm not attracted to men, but I can still recognize when a man is attractive. That doesn't mean that I have romantic or sexual interest in him, but we can recognize that people that we're not into sexually or romantically are attractive. So no, that would not change your sexuality or invalidate the person.
Okay, so if you had I don't know, if you based your sexual, do you base your sexual attraction on looking at someone and physical attraction to them?
Well, I fall somewhere under the asexual umbrella. I'm not entirely sure where. I'm likely demisexual. For me personally, I typically don't experience sexual attraction to someone until I'm first deeply romantically attracted to them.
I see. Okay. Yeah, the main reason I was asking that is because obviously, I have trans friends and I have non-binary friends, and I don't know if it's like this for everyone, but obviously these people, my friends, they have attraction just by looking down the street, looking at somebody. And whether that person identifies as non-binary or, a trans man or a trans female, they can appear, their original gender that they were assigned to, because they haven't transitioned yet. So my question is, if you were walking down the street and you were a lesbian, you were trans female, and the person you're looking at is, they appear to be a woman, but they actually identify as a trans man, you finding them attractive and possibly going and hitting on them, and then you tell them that you're a lesbian, surely wouldn't that be offensive to that person? Also, I do apologize for my dog. My dog is snoring.
It is true that misgendering someone can be hurtful. The key is when you do misgender someone, apologize, correct yourself, move on. Don't make it a big deal. Just acknowledge your mistake, apologize, move on. And sure, yeah, misgendering can be hurtful.
Yeah, that was my question really, because like I absolutely do believe, I don't believe transgenders like some sort of, it's, you can choose what you are. I don't believe that at all. You are born with how you feel in your brain, and if you don't feel the gender you are, then, of course you need to change and be who you really are, your authentic self. I believe that. My question was just like with preference, like sexual preference, it's obviously tricky because if there's someone who's not transitioned yet and they appear to be the gender that they're appearing as, and they're actually not that gender, and they're transitioning, it's difficult.
Well, let's not forget that there are cisgender people. Like, there are cisgender women that look very, very masculine. There are cisgender men who look very, very feminine. Being attracted to, like, if you're a woman attracted to women and you just happen to also notice a man who is also attractive, that doesn't change your sexuality. That doesn't mean, just because you've acknowledged that person's attractive does not mean that you're interested in being with that person in any capacity.
Okay, I understand. So if I was to be, I'm bisexual, but if I was straight and I found a woman who was masculine, I don't really know what I'm trying to say here, but I don't know. It's just like, I don't know how I'd feel about if there was like a woman who is transitioning to a man and then I found them attractive. If they haven't transitioned already, would that make me a lesbian?
Who hasn't?
If I'm a cisgendered woman, so I'm born woman from birth. Yeah. If I was to find a person attractive who was like at the very beginning of their transition into male, so a like woman going to a man, would I still be considered straight?
Yes, because that would be a case of you being attracted to a man. And I just want to correct your language a moment. Transgender men are not women who become men. Transgender men are typically assigned female at birth, but are men. So no, that would be a case of you being attracted to a man.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting my term. I'm not very educated on this. I would like to know more.
We all got to learn, right? And so I can't fault you for not having learned something yet.
I do want to ask a question as well. It's not related to lesbianism. It's more related to genders, and I don't know how you feel about that, but do you believe that there's two genders? And if not, what is actually the rule of thumb for genders for you? Because I've never really understood there's like loads of genders.
Yeah, so I definitely believe that there's a non-quantifiable amount of genders, because gender is something that is unique to each person. It varies community to community, and it's going to continue to evolve over time. So there's no limit to how many genders there can be.
Okay, but like I was listening beforehand, and obviously I know that I think it was the mum that was just on the live. I said that it was a spectrum of genders.
Yes, exactly. It's on one side we have men, on the other side we have women, and then we have all these other genders in between, and even outside that spectrum altogether.
So, like, could you give me an example of like someone who would be in between these? Like, I know intersex was listed as one of them. What other genders can there be?
So intersex would be a sex. It's not really on the gender spectrum, but one example of what could be within the bimodal distribution of gender, everyone in between is non-binary. Specifically, I'm gender fluid. So my gender just naturally fluctuates within the spectrum, never really to one end or the other, but it does fluctuate within it.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I have heard of gender fluidity before. I've never really had like a personal experience with it. I've never really seen it in real life. So yeah. It's nice to obviously like understand it more, because I've not really dug into different genders yet. I've only ever really been around male, female, and non-binary. I did know there was more. I just haven't been educated on them. So yeah. That's all I really had to ask, to be honest. I just wanted to be educated by people who clearly know more than me and just learn more about it.
Yeah, it's both complex and kind of easy at the same time. Like, I get it when people don't understand, but as soon as you do understand, it's like, it's a weird, like, if you understand it, you do, and then if you don't, you get there.
Yeah, I do. I want to learn more and understand it more, because obviously my intention is never to offend anyone with my words. Like I don't have any prejudices against anybody. It's just probably lack of education on it.
Yeah, I figured out a better way to phrase what I was trying to say. It's sort of like, it's hard to understand when it hasn't been explained, but it's one of those things that when somebody explains, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
They're one of those
definitely.
things.
I'm bisexual, but I have dated somebody who is was born as a woman who transitions to a man, and that was in quite a young age of their life. So the thing is, I was confused because bisexual, I genuinely thought the term was you're attracted to females or males, and I thought that if you were attracted to transgender people, that was a different sexuality. But I'm now learning that that's not true. So I just wanted to check if I was actually correct.
Yeah, being attracted to transgender people does not change your sexuality.
Okay, so I'm still considered as bisexual if I have, attraction to somebody who's transitioning to a male who was currently a presenting female.
Yeah, that's not going to change your sexuality.
Okay, I don't know. I swear somebody told me that meant I was pansexual before, so I just wanted to check because I was really confused then after they said that to me.
Rosie, any other questions?
No, that's all of them. Thank you. You answered them.
I appreciate you. You have a good day.
Thank you too.
Bye. All right, guys, we got 22 minutes left. We got 5,000 likes. Let's see if we can get to 20,000 likes by the end of the live. I think we can do that. 20,000 likes by the end of the live. All right.
I don't know why, but my brain is not explaining what I was trying to say, because like what I was trying to say is like, oh yeah, that's literally everything, but I don't know. My brain is not braining today. Hello.
They're not connected yet. And based on their username, they're probably a troll. And their profile pic. And the colors of their profile pic being black and orange. Lots of red flags here. And they're not connecting. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Kendra. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. How old are you, please?
I'm 20.
20. Fantastic. And what year were you born?
2000.
Have a good day, Kendra. Yo, I'm so bad at math. When I can get it like that, you done goofed up. Hello, Akeem. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, I can. How old are you, please?
I'm 34.
34. Fantastic. Am I a lesbian?
Hell yeah, you're a lesbian. That's awesome. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm a straight man, but I'm definitely attracted to trans women. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
All right.
Like, I don't think there's any man that's willing enough to come in here and admit it, but they're just all ashamed of themselves. And like, I'm not trying to be like that and bring that negativity, but dude, there's some gorgeous ass, excuse my language, trans women out there. There's nothing wrong with that. People just need to start, accepting who they are and be straight about it. But yeah, you're a lesbian, full on. I'll support you. I'll be with you. Yeah, for sure. God bless you. And yeah, everyone else should just accept it and stop being weird. Life is too short. Enjoy it.
All right. You have a good day. Thank you so much for coming out. Appreciate it. Let's get some W guests in chat, guys. A W guest in chat. Hello, Fantasy Pone. How you doing?
Oh, snap. What is it?
Hello? I heard you briefly.
Sorry, my bad. I'm here.
How old are you?
23.
23? Okay. And am I a lesbian?
Honestly, yeah, I believe it.
Awesome. Fantastic. Was there something you wanted to say?
It was more of a question, really, because, like, I've been watching you for a minute, and, I think you're cool. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
But my curiosity is, like, because I've been tuning in these, from time to time, it kind of makes me wonder, like, are you trying to be proven wrong or something? Or is there something you want to hear?
I think that's a fair question. The question basically being, why do I do this? It's not to be proven wrong. It's that my community, we're constantly invalidated. Our gender identities are valid. Our sexualities are invalidated constantly. And so we face high rates of harassment, high rates of bullying, high rates of violence. We're losing rights. And my goal is to start a conversation. Are my topics a bit clickbaity? Yes, my topics are a bit clickbaity. But the hope is that my topics will bring in people who disagree, who have some level of concern, and we can start a conversation.
Right, okay, alright, yep, that makes more sense.
Yeah. All right, anything else?
Honestly, no, that's it.
All right, you have a good one.
You do.
Thank you so much. First time subscriber, I appreciate you. Robin Gordon, ooh, that's a cool name. Thank you so much for the sub, I appreciate that. Okay, we got 17 minutes left, guys. I'm going to bring up the next guest right now. And let's keep it going. Grace Skull in chat if you're a follower.
Yeah.
Nadaba?
Yeah, that's it.
How old are you, please?
Oh, I'm 18.
What year were you born?
2006, January the 10th.
Fantastic. Am I a lesbian?
You see, from a Christian standpoint, I believe there's only man and woman.
Oh, there we go.
You get me? But I'm not saying what you believe is what you want to believe, innit?
Sure, but we can work within the confines of your religion. First of all, your religion does not invalidate non-binary people, and on top of that, I'm identifying as a woman. If God created man and woman, I'm identifying as a woman. You're off the app. I can't hear you.
Sorry. I'm saying, how can you identify as a woman if you're not born as a woman?
No one's born a woman. A woman's an adult.
A woman is an adult? What do you mean no one's born as a woman?
Yeah, no one's born a woman. You're born an infant, you develop, and your gender develops, and then at the age of adulthood, you're either a man, woman, non-binary, etc.
So a male cow is born with a penis, so how does it decide that it's a woman after a while then?
So gender is something that we exclusively observe in humans. We do not observe gender in any other species.
What?
Yeah. Other species have sex, typically, but they don't have gender.
Have you read the Bible yet?
Parts of it.
Parts of it. And in the beginning it says God created men and what? Men and women. God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Okay, but that doesn't mean that one of their children wasn't freaking Steve.
Bro, it's just morally wrong.
Okay, so your Bible says that Adam created, God created man and woman, Adam and Eve, right? How many children did they have?
Now you're testing me. They had Abel and Cain. I don't really remember the exact number.
Abel, Cain, and Seth.
Yeah.
All of them are
male. Yeah.
Right. How did they produce a human population without?
I'm not really sure, but then it all goes back to Moses.
Obviously, something else had to exist.
Yeah, someone else had to. Maybe there were other
So
people then.
your Bible doesn't say. Your Bible doesn't mention everything. So there can be things that exist that weren't written in your Bible. So it's possible that they had a female child that wasn't mentioned. It's possible that they had a non-binary child that wasn't mentioned. It's possible they had
I don't think there's going to be a non-binary child.
Well, you don't think, and
I am sure I am 100% sure that choosing your own gender is against the Bible, bro.
How? It doesn't say that.
God made humans in his own way, in his way that he saw best fit. You know? And this is what he says in the Bible, that like the world is coming to the end.
Are you God?
I'm not God.
Okay, so how do you know what he thought was best fit?
I'm not judging anyone.
How do you know what it thought was best fit?
What?
How do you know what it thought was best fit?
Because I read the Bible. The Bible tells us it's God created Adam and Eve. That's how it starts.
And
that's how it's going to end.
Adam and Eve only created Cain, Abel, and Seth. So how?
Bro, tell me if you die, right? And your body was to be dug out 100 years later, you telling me they're going to say that person was a non-binary or a tree or whatever they wanted to be? It's going to be that person was a male or a female.
No, that's actually not true. They're going to identify gender before they identify sex because they're trying to identify you as a person, not as a body. So what they're going to do, hold on, what they're going to do is use your teeth first, if you still have them. So they're going to go for your teeth first. And that pulls up a profile of your legal record. The dental record is connected to your legal record, which could be like, I'm going to be legally non-binary. As soon as I get my California driver's license, I'm going to be legally non-binary. So if I were to die and they were to try to identify my body, they would go for my teeth and find that I was a non-binary person.
I swear, bro, there's no such thing as non-binary teeth. I don't think
there's such thing as human teeth. And
human teeth, but
is find your legal record, your existence as a human being. And if I am legally non-binary, that is what my dental records are going to show.
They're not going to show that, mate.
Yes, they are, and that's how forensic anthropology works.
Are you telling me that the people who died in the World War, whatever, if their bodies are being dug out right now, right, they're going to say, no, so-and-so was a non-binary person?
Yeah, if they are legally non-binary or, like, they're going to find that somehow, right? They're going to find out who this person was. And that doesn't just include their biology. It includes them as an individual person. So as a person, as a biological structure, I am male. As a person, I am non-binary. So they're going to figure out, they're going to go through let's say they need to figure out if you were unalived by someone else, right? They're going to figure out who I was as a person. That means going through my social media. That means going through my legal record. That means going through whatever they need to go through. And they're going to find that as a person, I was non-binary, and that's going to be identified and part of the case.
Brother, I'm just going to say this. Repent and believe in the gospel.
Yes, fuck the gospel.
Because Jesus, the world is coming to an end. You get me?
There's no conversation there. Let's try to get one more in 10 minutes.
$10 and then I go to Erewhon and maybe stop at Glossier for somebody.
Thank you, Becca.
Haha, what's up?
How you doing?
Good, man. I was actually thinking that you will not accept my request because I have no picture on the profile.
I didn't particularly look at people's profile pics. I do need to know how old you are, though.
20.
20, fantastic.
Yeah.
What year?
Tell me, what?
What year were you born?
2000.
You have a good day, my guy.
What?
How did we have two people mess that up? 2 people picked 20 and got it wrong.
I swear to God, people? I'm sorry.
Hello, Ivana.
Hi,
How old are you, please?
I'm 23,
Fantastic. What year were you born?
2001.
Fantastic. All right. Am I a lesbian?
Well, it's strictly off, based on everybody else's opinions, you know what I mean? But mine, do I believe that you're a lesbian? Not particularly, because, growing up in the early 2000s of what a lesbian actually was and what it identified was a woman falling in love with a woman, you know what I mean? And so terms of...
I meet that definition.
Well, a woman being like, I had like an aunt, okay, that fell in love with a woman or whatever, and she was considered lesbian in her pronouns, if you want to call them that. But, do I believe that? Not really. That's my opinion at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Not yours. But I do believe that, a woman is a woman and a man is a man. A woman...
What is the necessary condition to being a woman?
A woman can bear children.
Okay, let's start right there. Can all women bear children?
Yes. Well, yes, unless they have, obviously a medical condition.
It doesn't matter why they can't. The fact is that not all women can give birth, but that doesn't make them less of a woman, right? We can agree that a woman that can't give birth is still just as much of a woman as everyone else.
Well,
Pick you back up.
like I said, that, everybody has their own opinions at the end of the day, and yeah, I can bring up religion.
Are you going to say that your opinion is that a woman who can't give birth is a woman? It's not a woman?
No, that is not what I'm going to say.
Right. So then giving birth is not a necessary condition for being a woman.
But it is. Look at our grandparents, when things weren't such a justified application in this life, you know what I mean? Where we weren't having to justify what we were or who we were or, who was gay and who wasn't. Huh?
Can you tell me what a necessary condition is?
Say pronouns or gender identification or the specification of... Huh?
We're definitely not on the same page here. A necessary condition is a rule that applies to the entire group, without exception.
Okay, but that's standards of nowadays. Yes, that is.
That's just what a necessary condition is. In order for something to be a necessary condition, the rule must apply to the entire group.
Okay, well, back then when our grandparents were not, they did not identify as anything. They just were what they were. And
they did have identities, and some of those identities weren't men or women.
Well, my grandmother was born in 1923, where the Great Depression was a thing more than anything else of the stipulations of being a male.
Beyond just man and woman existed in 1923.
Well, it was more of so it was more of so like gay and like lesbian. It wasn't like
sexualities, not genders.
Well, gender is, I don't know. I go to the doctor and they have on the paper, are you a female or a male? You know what I mean? That's the gender that I've always put down as female because that's what I kind of am. You know what I mean?
And when I go to the doctor, they ask your gender and they ask your sex. They do both. When I applied for a coverage for a certain medication, they asked both.
Not where I'm from. That's not.
Okay, this isn't. You're running away from the line that we were going down. I was trying to explain to you necessary conditions, and you just pivoted right off. Do you understand what I said when I said that a necessary condition is a rule that applies to the entire group?
Okay.
Does that make sense? It's okay to say no. You're off app. I can't hear you.
Let me just look it up really fast.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh, it says it must be a present event to occur, so that's what that means.
Right. It must be present. It has to be there. So, therefore, giving birth is not a necessary condition to being a woman because it's not present in all women.
Well, I don't know. I was just raised a lot differently to believe a lot differently.
Right. I was raised a lot differently too. We need to be able to overcome the gaps in our knowledge because we're not taught everything, and it's okay to not know everything, but we have to be able and willing to overcome the gaps in our knowledge.
Yes.
For sure, you were raised differently, but it turns out that some of the things that you were raised on related to gender and sexuality were wrong.
Indeed. Well, I don't know that for sure, you know what I mean? Like, nobody has proof of anything in all's reality of what anything really is or exists to be, you know what I mean? So
No.
we kind of just go based, yes, that is true. Can you tell me why you were born? Why you were born? Where you were born from?
My parents were intimate with each other.
Okay, yes, but do you know, like, even from the start of humanity, why humans were born? What is their...
It's evolved from other species. Other species evolved from other species, and the reason that life exists on Earth is a series of happy accidents.
So there's legitimate proof of that, though. Because why is there conspiracy based on everything in this life? Yes, conspiracy. Conspiracy
there
is
is.
a form of an idea.
What would you consider to be facts?
Facts?
Yeah.
Facts that I am a woman. That is facts enough. Facts that I have eyes to see out of and ears to hear from, and, you know, I am a person. That is facts enough. There's no other facts.
The only facts are that you have eyes to see out of, ears to hear out of, etc.
Yes, and that I am a woman. Designed that way.
If it was a fact that you're a woman or not, I believe that you're a woman, 100%.
Yes.
My question was, what is a fact to you? What does it mean for something to be a fact?
A fact. A fact is anything that can be a fact if given. You know what I mean? That's
not everything can be a fact.
Yes, but the human... Okay, so if we talk about the internet, correct? There's a lot of human beings that include something that may or not be, you know what I mean? But we put it there as if it is a staple. Which then includes factual matter, right?
Hot dog, you got anything here?
I got stuck on the staple.
What do you mean?
Sounds painful. Okay. It seems to me, rather than talking about specific things, you're going big picture and saying a whole lot of nothing.
Yes, but that's life. Just as well as you say that you are female and you are lesbian.
Let's narrow it down. Let's narrow it down. Let's talk about transgender people, lesbians, etc.
That's what I came on here for.
What
yes.
conditions must be present for someone to be a woman?
I have a vagina since birth, I guess.
Okay, so did you know that some women are born without vaginas?
I have a cousin, and yes, they are. I don't know if I can say the word, but herm.
Yeah, we don't say that term. Intersex is a acceptable term. Then the other one's not.
Yes, and she does have both male and female part, but
see, this is the problem, Ivana. I keep saying things and then you keep talking about something else. What I said to you was that some women are born without vaginas. I wasn't talking about intersex people.
okay, so what do you mean? How
Some women are born without vaginas. Does that make them less of a woman?
That's not a woman.
So then what gender is someone who is otherwise assigned female at birth but does not have a vagina? What gender are they?
Okay, so you're saying gender and sex is opposite of each other? They don't coagulate in self?
Yeah, so there is connection between sex and gender, but they are different things.
So is it a mind thing is what people go based on then, off gender?
Guys, let's not go after the guest for saying coagulates. People get things wrong sometimes, and it's okay. Let's not do that. Sex, gender is in part psychological. Yes.
Okay, so I just don't understand how even though you are the sex that you are, you choose to be something different than what you are. How does that even, how can that even be? You know what I mean?
No choice is being made.
What?
No choice is being made.
No choice is being made?
No choice.
How is that not a choice though?
Can you tell me when you chose to be a woman? Think of the Furious Fire. I like the Furious Fire. That's a cool one.
I was born that, so therefore that is a legitimate no choice.
Right, you didn't choose to be a woman. Similarly, I did not choose to be a woman. I just am one. There's a ton of new gifts all of a sudden, guys.
So how is that a thing though? Like, I don't understand how, like, I don't know. It just makes zero sense, you know what I mean? Because I was
challenging your view here. I feel like you're...
Wait, what?
No, I don't feel like you're challenging your view.
How am I? How? I don't. It's just is what it is. Like, life is what it is. You know what I mean? Regardless of what we may want. I may want all the riches.
Life is what it is, regardless of what we want.
Yes, it is.
You might grant certain things to not be true.
If I want, okay, so say I want to be a rich person, right?
You can be a rich person.
I can, but that takes like me to go out there and get that. You know what I mean? Like that, a sex or a gender, that's just is. It is.
Yeah. Yeah, sex and gender just are what they are, and trans people are valid, whether you want them to be or not. And science has substantiated that.
Well, science is a different belief in its own self, you know what I mean?
No, science is not a belief.
It is, though. Just as so is medication.
It really isn't.
Medication was formed in it's not natural. There's nothing natural about it. You know what I mean? If you go pick herbs off of a flower, that is natural. Medication prescribed to you from a doctor is not natural.
Oh, okay, but something not being natural doesn't mean it's a belief. Yeah.
But it is, though, because it's...
Okay, are computers a belief?
Conversation here. We're just not grounded in reality right now.
Are computers a belief, Ivana?
Are computers a belief?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean, are computers a belief? I
mean exactly what I asked.
Yeah, we're operating on your conditions here.
It was something that was created.
Right, but it's not natural.
No.
Correct. Correct. So But you said things that aren't natural are beliefs because medication is a belief. Medication is not a belief. Whether you should take it or not, that is a belief.
Right. So, how is going from what you were born with, the genitalia that you were born with, all right, how does that make it natural to feel like as you are something else?
Because that's just the way the brain works. That's just the way the natural brain works.
But based off of what, though? Like, what? Like, where is the seed that spawned that? You know what I mean? That
hypothalamus.
The what?
The hypothalamus.
But how is that? How though? Like
how? I really wish I knew, but I don't know everything. That's something I'm willing to learn actually, but it does come from the hypothalamus.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't really.
So you're just not willing to challenge what you know.
Oh, I am willing to challenge a lot of what I do and don't know, but in certain areas it just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean?
A lot of things don't make sense until they're explained to you, until they're discovered. Why is the hypothalamus responsible for gender? I have no clue. I'm sure someone does. I'd be willing to learn about that if someone does, but the hypothalamus is responsible for gender, whether we want it to be or not.
I don't know. I was just born one day, you know what I mean? And I was just born one day and lived up to what I am. I never wanted to change who I was, so I guess.
Me either. I'm non-binary. I was born non-binary.
Well, I don't know any of these names or terminologies that people include nowadays.
The problem is that you don't seem to be willing to learn, Ivana, which is why I'm going to move on now. We've tried reaching you, but you just seem very, very resistant to learning. So you have a good day.
To learn.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. I couldn't keep doing that. So it is 1:10, so the live ended 10 minutes ago, technically. So I am going to end now. I am going to be streaming again, though, in just a few minutes. I'm going to be going right from this live to a Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 stream. The game just came out. It's the sequel to one of my absolute favorite games of all time. We played for 3 hours yesterday. It's been absolutely fantastic experience. So if you would like to... if you'd like to join that stream, I'm going to get myself set up in just a moment. I have to get my mic set up. I have to get my camera set up, so it'll be a few minutes. But yeah, I'm going right over to Twitch, Adorable Rainbow Fist on Twitch, and you guys can watch. You guys can hang out while we play some Hellblade 2. Was my game worth losing everything? I genuinely don't know what you're talking about, V. Am I reflecting afterwards? I still don't know what you're talking about. All right. In the meantime, if you guys don't want to watch that stream, totally fine. We're going to do a raid. Let's raid Allegedly Ian. Allegedly.Ian, guys. Adora raid in chat. Allegedly.Ian. Oh, God damn it. Allegedly.Ian. Oh, of course, TikTok won't approve the sticker, so I can't write it down. It's exactly how it sounds. Allegedly.Ian. Adora raid in chat. Yes, when I am talking about a raid, I mean we're all going to another user's account while they're live. You're going to write Adora raid in chat. Don't spam it. We don't want to be annoying. It's allegedly.Ian, and I'll see you guys tonight if I don't see you in the Twitch stream.